And I believe that should be us on the screen. Good. Fantastic. I think I can make it a little bit bigger.
Great.
There we go. Awesome. And let me make sure. Let me make sure we can be heard because I don't get to do sound checks anymore ahead of time. Fantastic.
I can do that too. I have the stream up.
Awesome. It worked.
Wait, is this being streamed?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if we had settled on streaming or recording.
It's being streamed to YouTube at the moment.
We are
And
live.
it's good to go.
Anyway, welcome everybody to episode 1 of Rolling Until Rangaok's Monday Daggerheart campaign. Currently, the campaign's name is OA. I'm sure once they decide on a little group name, we'll change it. Who knows? This is about to be going for a long time. I'm so glad for whoever is like the very first like pioneer viewers of our stream. Thank you so much for being here. Anybody who's going back and watching this later, my God, this is about to be a mess. But it's about to be a lot of fun. The reason that I'm doing it this way is because one of the very original points of Rolling Until Ragnarok was to show that you can tell amazing stories with D&D and TTRPGs and all the different systems while being online with friends. You don't have to have a huge studio. You don't have to be standing in person. Don't get me wrong, that adds to it, but this is still a lot of fun, and you can do a lot of cool stuff, and I've met all these amazing people that live states away from me, and I love them, and I want to play games with them, and this is the best way to do it. So, without ado, we're going to kind of jump into this, and we're going to go ahead. This is episode 1. I would love for each of you to kind of also, as we get to your character, to introduce yourself, and just to say like a little, and if you want to drop like your social media and stuff, please do it. I want everybody able to like find you from here if they want to. If you want to be ambiguous and mysterious, that's up to you. I'm not going to force anybody to do anything here. But that being said, thank you all for being here. Anybody who's watching this in the future, thank you all for joining us. And God knows today was like the weirdest day ever, considering which Monday this is that we're playing this on. But history's gonna know it for this and not that later. But
Yep.
but anyway,
boy.
But anyway, I say that to say that we love all of you equally, and you're all welcome here, no matter what you are, who you are, or where you are. I thought really hard about how to say that properly. Anyway, our story begins in Sal'Terra. Our group has found themselves in the depths of a place called Darren's Refuge. It is this mining town that has a shady sort of underbelly to it that each person kind of came from different places around Sal'Terra because they've heard that there is somebody granting wishes as far as that is concerned. Whatever your life's most beautiful, most entailed thing is, there's some giant big piece of magic going on here. But everybody kind of shows up and nobody ever's really heard from again. But somehow there are still these mysteries and these rumors getting about. And it's one of those things where you just can't pass it up. So everybody showed up. You all have been placed in room 0A at the end of the hallway after meeting the original grantor of these wishes, or so you believe. A tall satyr-like demon-looking gentleman that is just going by Velez. He said some...
You mean...
Yes.
Okay.
He said some interesting things. He had a book with him, but afterwards a bunch of different constructs brought you each to this big room. They fed you, and there was one door that sealed you into it. It seals away. As it sealed up, it soundproofed everything. You all are just in this giant metal dome of a room, very, very far underground, with a table of food, and time seems to slip and ebb. And it kind of goes a little bit back and forth, and you realize maybe 2 days have passed, maybe 3 days have passed. All you know is that there's no more food on this table. And nobody's come to check on any of you. And I have this feeling that no matter how much time has passed, I'm going to start off our introductions with asking Cinnamon, what would you do if you feel like you looked at the table, your stomach started to growl, and you realize that everybody's just kind of been here?
Well, I mean, this is a new space. Like, it's a new space, so I don't know if she would have waited until her stomach was growling, but I mean, she would try to figure out everything she can about this space. You said that there was only one visible door, but like, how tall is the room? What is its exact measurements? What are the walls made of? Are there any of those cool constructs in here? You know, is there a way to open the door? Is it locked? I know we heard it locked, but is there a way to unlock it? Is it like locked magically? Like there's just
Beautiful.
it'll just
How about this?
whole thing list.
You go ahead, introduce yourself, introduce your character, give us a little description of them, and then I will go through a list of interesting points about the room.
Yeah. So hi, me, player Carly. You can find me at Carly Steichen on all the socials. I also make the clicky clacky math rocks at Armadillo Dice on Etsy. And my character is Cinnamon Lightfall, and she is a furling, which is a half halfling, half furbolg. She is about 3.5 feet tall. She's got broad shoulders. She's got the like famous like flat wide nose and the floppy ears of a furbolg, and her fur is like a cinnamon brown color, and when it's dry it's like fluffy and really soft, but when it's wet it sleeks out like a seal does. And she is wearing a bright orange like sunset tunic that goes from like the deep oranges to light yellows at the bottom, and is carrying around a massive book. But every time you look at the book, it looks like it's a different book. Like every time you glance away and glance back, it looks like it's a different book. Not every day, every time you look at it. It's very disorienting. And she's a bit of a chatterbox. In fact, about the only time that she isn't talking is when she's reading.
Wonderful.
So,
yes, to give you
Cinnamon!
to give Cinnamon her due. You've been here for a while, looking around the room. The room is fairly tall. You would have to fly to get to the ceiling. The ceiling is arched. It looks like this probably was a storage room for large equipment at one point, maybe. While it's not like dirty or it does have like that soot feel to it. Like this definitely was a storage like warehouse at one point. There are little places for everybody to sit and be, but other than that, it's kept about as good as it could have been kept. Is kind of the idea. There is the one large table. There are seats at the table for everybody, and then there are kind of like these little makeshift think like cots that you could sit on and lay on. Other than that, there's the one door that I talked about. The door is sealed shut. It doesn't look like there's a handle to open it from the inside. It feels like you're locked in. In fact, you probably are locked in until somebody would come to check on you, which nobody has done. There was no real the walls are thick enough that even if there was pounding from one side, you probably wouldn't have heard it. And it seems like if you pounded on them on one side, they wouldn't hear it on the outside. Maybe on the door. That's about all you could think. There is a small little porthole on the door that looks like a small rectangle that when you try and look through, the glass is fairly messed up and dirty and ripped up to the point where you can kind of make some stuff out, but you can't really make much out. And the room never changes its lighting. It is constantly lit up to the point where it's like this low, dim light that just gives you that idea of it being like afternoon. But other than that, it never changes. And there's no way to turn it off or turn it on. It just is this low, dim, white light.
I think Grev at this point, and this is totally up to Tamazira, but I think Grev and Tamazira have probably been doing like arm wrestling for the past 3 days just because I'm bored out of my skull and I need physical stimulus in order to function properly. If there's no food, it's either food or things get hit. Those are the only two functions in my mind, really, right now, is either eat or fight. That's...
Why is it arm wrestling with me? I have, like, no strength.
Because you're my friend. That is the only reason why. It's because you're my friend. Unless you want to grapple, we can just go through hands if you really want to.
Sure, I have a -1 to my strength.
Again.
Yes.
So,
yes, and
Listen,
that is why.
You can try and fight Tamazira, but what's gonna happen is she's just gonna continue to like shadow dodge constantly.
Just please, just one more round. Just one more round.
No.
Winner takes all.
Why?
We don't even have anything really to give.
Yes, we have nothing to bet with. Why? Is it even part of the game?
I bet. I'm so hungry. I bet I'm so hungry. That's what I'm betting on. I don't even know if I'm making sentences correctly here. I'm so hungry.
Your grammar is so bad. You should really read a book.
Uh-huh. Yeah, as soon as I want to do that, I will absolutely not ask you. Ask you.
Has anyone actually checked the door?
Yes. I checked it 4 times.
So
I've also punched it twice.
So with that cue, Grev, if you'd like to introduce your character, introduce yourself, please. That'd be great.
Sure.
Followed by Tamazira.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kaz. You can find me on YouTube at Survive with Kaz. You can also find me on Twitter at Cosmic Trigger. And I'm sure Wei will put the links appropriate in the video. So you guys can always follow those links. I'm playing Grev Lightdawn. He is a Ridgeborn giant seraph. He is a hulking tall man, about 7.5 feet tall. He is nothing but muscles, really. But he's not dense. He comes from a smaller village, but has had experiences with outside travel and exotic goods that have come through. But Grev really is just as big as he is and as tall as he is. His heart is the same size, sometimes to his own detriment. But he always values and protects his friends. And he is, just a really tall, big, muscly, very Viking-esque look to him. He has a long mohawk that goes down and around his back, and kind of has a little bit of longer hair in the back. He has a very large, long beard that is also braided with these different kind of smaller stones that are kind of braided throughout. And other than that, he has simple clothes. He has a nice leather vest on with some pretty ordinary pants. But the most striking feature that he has is some really nice boots. They are polished and maintained always to the highest quality, and something that he values greatly. And Tamazira is Grev's best friend right now. Best friend. Man,
she is everybody's best friend, apparently.
I was gonna say, what a story Tamazira has going for her with all these friends.
Apparently, she's just gathered all these friends. So I'm Rack. I am Captain Hellerad on almost every social media out there. But my main one that I'm currently on is Blue Sky. I'm an artist, so I draw stuff as I would like. Anyways, Tamazira is a very pale, very pale elf with smoke-like markings that move across her skin at all times. Her hair is white. She's basically got like a mullet going on. No shame in that. Her her eyes are the scleras are dark, and the pupils themselves are like blue, like a very bright blue. She is dressed in clothing that would probably make a Final Fantasy character cry with how many layers and belts there are. So much so that she has 4 like different outfit versions for the one outfit. Just so you're aware. So she's just anytime she has to get like ready, just give her an extra 10 to 15 minutes for her to just strap up. It's just a thing. Don't know why, but it is what it is. She is kind of antisocial, so it's so funny that everybody keeps calling them her
Not
friend.
anymore. Not anymore. You're not.
Exactly.
We're getting you out of that shell.
So she is somebody who likes to sort of stick to the shadows a little bit, stick to the darker side of just things and keep an eye out. But Grev has sort of yoinked her out, and she is wondering whether or not she should have helped rescue the man at this point.
Aw. So watching Grev play Cat chase the red beam across the room, I think there would be that would leave Eno and Billy. Let's start with Eno. Anokle, if you'd like to go ahead and describe your character and tell me what you've been doing for, we'll say, the past 16 hours.
I'm Nilla. RUR.Feywild across everything. Inokle is kind of examining this table of food because, well, it's starting to go bad. And everyone else can't eat it, but she's got plenty of food. Because she has this grayish lavender, kind of a bruise color mushroom. And her head kind of flops as she bounces, much like a jellyfish. Very automatic thing she does as she's examining this table and kind of contemplating on if she could do something about it. She probably could, but she doesn't have her little staffy thing. They took it from her. And so she's... all anyone really hears, because she's not thinking to them, is soft hums and But you kind of get the idea that she's talking to herself. Or maybe any other mushroom that can hear her.
All right, there you are. Okay, so we have a mushroom talking to mushrooms and waiting for things to decay. We have a fuzzy little cinnamon roll of a library assistant trying to make everybody read books, and we've got Grev chasing around the darkness that is Tamazira. So that leaves us with Billy. Please introduce yourself and describe your character and give me an idea of what Billy has been doing.
Hi, I'm Prodigy or Darius. You can find me as Darius is AFK on Instagram and Threads. It was supposed to also be Blue Sky, but I'm ADHD and forgot. So that'll come soon. But I like to make music. I also GM a lot, and now I'm no longer forever GM thanks to Way. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Way. Thank you.
As for Billy, who is a seaborn fawn, he's very, very imposing figure, stands at a nice 5'2". He's got these curly brown little goat legs that appear out some wide cut brown slacks, which match the little like brown vest he has on, which matches his kind of dark browned, relatively kept hair, facial hair, and curly hair under his hat. There's a pair of horns that is starting to kind of come in a bit more. He's a little bit young, still just kind of coming out, so the horns aren't massive yet. They're present, but we're getting there. We're not great horned yet. With a series of piercings along his kind of like almost elven but even more pointed ears and a small stud in his nose. The only real colored thing about him, the red bandana on his arm with a skull and a sun, and his very, very kind of salty ocean green eyes. As all of this, as Grev kind of chases around William or Billy, I think he'll kind of sit up from a nap. As a little like fish that he was carving, he like probably cut a chunk of wood out of the table with using his shiv, or just like kicked it out and then just started carving it and whittling at it with the shiv that he took. He kind of sits up, looks over at Eno, staring at the table. No, I'm done. You can finish that. He kind of like watches everyone else kind of losing their mind for a moment, and then promptly picks up his fish that he's kind of like going at work on, realizes that he stepped on it, gives a small little shrug, and cuts the head off of it where it kind of broke, and then just starts to carve a little like spinal part where it would be. This isn't Billy's first time being in solitary confinement. It's just normally there's someone waiting on the other side to bust him out. But for what it's worth, he holds the record for longest time he's ever held himself.
I think at some point Grev is going to stop. I think Grev would stop at some point, go like just giving up on Thames. I'd be like, fine. And I would walk over to Billy and be like, in a very low whisper next to Billy, and be like, Billy, don't look now.
Okay.
Don't look now. But correct me if I'm wrong. And I might be totally wrong here. But the last time I checked, mushrooms were edible. Yeah?
No.
And
No.
I'm just gonna go like this. I'm just gonna wipe some drool off his mouth.
Tamazir is just gonna
talking about them.
You're not here. You ran away from me. You ran away from me. You don't want to be near me. That's okay. Grev's gonna make Grev choices.
See, Grev made Grev choice, and Tamazir is gonna make the choice to go after Grev.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We don't eat.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Feel like kind of all right. Settle down. We're all hungry. That's fine. Look. As much as I've had good mushrooms and bad mushrooms, I've never met a mushroom like and she is a delight. Hopefully not a delicacy.
They're sauteed with butter. A very good delight.
Most likely poison for us. Let us stop discussing eating another person that is within our presence, please.
Alright, fine. I'm just hungry, and I want to get out of here.
I am also hungry. Yes, we're all starving. Do we have any rations?
It's a fair question, I mean, sometimes I think to myself if my bottom half is edible, but my top half isn't, because, I mean, it's meat, but like goat meat, but...
Okay, see, now that was dark. I didn't even go that far. I was just talking about eating another person.
I feel like it's a reasonable statement to make. Like, you don't never know. I mean... There are some interesting things in the world that have not been tried. Now, I'm not saying you should eat me. Please don't. I will kick you. But it is a question to be had.
Yes.
Tamazir is just like gonna do that slow turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk with you.
Like
as you slow turn, you notice that Cinnamon has climbed up and is standing on the table in the middle of the room with like the most like pouty look on her face, and is just kind of starts tapping her book like really like frustratedly, and it's sending out this like pulse of magic as she has finally devolved to the point where she is going to use, she has an ability called Reveal, where she makes a spellcast roll, and if there's anything hidden within close range, it's no longer hidden. So she's just like pounding the book like very frustratedly on top of the table in the middle of the room with like the cutest little pout on her face
I'm not
as
I'm no researcher or anything, but I don't think that's how you use a book.
I don't know if you can tell, but that looks like it's working. See all the magic stuff? That's I don't know, man.
Did you want to give me a spellcast roll?
Yeah. And then I'm going to spend a stress to double my experience of too dang curious.
Fantastic. First roll of the campaign, go.
Okay. That is double twos.
That's a crit.
That's a
Good
crit.
success.
Nice.
That's a crit.
So
This is gonna be a good campaign.
Easy.
Good campaign.
Easy.
Good campaign.
Good or the worst omen.
No. Good.
let's see. You're on the table in the middle of the room. So for a second, because the way reveal I think would work is it would like trace you to help you find the thing that's going to be revealed. In this case, so I think that like you're staring straight, you're kind of pouting, and you'd see like this little like it almost looks like a little firework or like a little what do you call them, like a sparkler on the wall, and it just kind of like traces along the wall and it brings you to where the door is, and next to the door it just outlines this little area next to where the door would be, and you realize that there's something that you could dig out of the wall if you needed to next to the door.
I don't think she says anything as she just kind of like runs across the table, jumps off, and just starts running towards her. How high is it up on the wall?
Let's see. The door itself, I said Grev had to bend down to get into, so maybe like 5 feet up.
Okay, so yeah, she she sets her book down and stands on it to give herself another like 4 inches and starts just peeling at that section of the wall.
Yeah.
Did you want to? I mean, I got this shiv where I could just break the table. Grev, you could break the table up, and then you could use one of the table legs to chip away.
Before you even stop, I'm just gonna pick up the whole table. I'm just gonna pick up the whole table. Yeah, before he's even done, I'm picking up the whole table and do what with it now?
Why don't you, Cinnamon, just point to the spot that needs to be Cinnamon. So this is like she's like clawing Cinnamon. Okay.
It doesn't need to be whacked. It needs to be dug out.
Oh well, that's no fun.
It's got legs on the bottom. That's like a shovel.
We use the legs, not the whole table. Yes, I see a hand. I like hands. Hi.
Sorry, that sent me. I like hands. Thomasira is just like, while all this commotion is going on. Wait, hold on. I don't remember. Were my knives confiscated?
No.
No,
snuck
I
them
think you
in.
just put them away. Yeah.
Sneaky.
She's just gonna. I'm gonna use 2 pens to illustrate this. She's just gonna. I have knives.
Are you gonna like Drax? Are you gonna like Drax the Destroyer this thing? Like just
Yes.
I love it.
Oh,
Even though I have no strength whatsoever.
Oh, like right here. There's something here. My magic.
Watch out. Watch out.
Table.
What do I need to roll?
I think Billy's just instigating on the side. Yeah, more table.
Billy, they don't want the
More
table.
table.
Billy, they said no to the table. Man, I don't know what to tell you. Don't put the
Less
table back
table.
down.
More knife.
more knife.
Yeah, go knife.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna
Okay.
spend a hope to help her in her role as I'm telling her where to
Very
to
good.
dig.
So
Heck
this is really just gonna be a like tinker finesse roll, and it's gonna be successful no matter what. It literally is just gonna be how long it takes you to do it. So that's what we're
Okay.
rolling for.
I'm
Okay.
still helping
Yes.
because
yes,
I
you
had
are.
full up on hope, so it doesn't hurt me to help.
Yes.
So, which dice do I roll again?
So you'd roll 2. So the way Daggerheart works is you roll 2d12. One is your hope dice, and one is a fear dice. And so you
Yes.
roll them, you add them up, and you tell me which one you rolled higher on. So you roll the full number of that on whatever you rolled. And you add your, for this, you'll add your finesse score to it.
Perfect.
And
All
then
right,
you
cool.
get a D6 because I'm helping.
And you add a
Ooh, and a
D6 because she's
D6.
helping.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so for my hope, had the higher number.
Mhm.
I ended up rolling a 9 total. And then for my fear, I rolled a 4.
Okay.
And
So-
then with the 1d6, I rolled a 5.
Great. So you add all those together, and you rolled that all on hope.
And you add in
14.
your finesse.
And then you also add your finesse score.
14 with the finesse.
Okay. No, so on a 14 on hope, I would say that you all realize that there is a large latched bar that is underneath the main part of this. It's not, I wouldn't say that it's like metal. This is more like behind the ceramic tiling of the wall. And as you it's like a security latch. So like if people were to get stuck in here, they would know they could break open the part of the wall and pull the latch open. You all did not know that, obviously, but because we're not given privy to these things. But that being said, it is very rusted and very old. So just after, I would say this takes a good 20-30 minutes of just battering through this wall, and you finally get to it. You get the whole thing open and look, and you're like, it's just a giant rusted latch that while it needs some good strength to it, there also has to be a little bit of finesse to it, because if you would see, because you rolled on hope, if you just brute force this, you're going to tear it out the wall and it's not going to open the door.
Oh, okay.
But if you use enough brute force, you can maybe tear out the door too. So it's
Nope.
kind of like this back.
I'm not helping. Nobody wanted the table, so now nope.
But
I'm not even going to respond to that, and I'm just going to start tinkering with it like I'm a freaking mechanic. Just trying to get in there and figure it out.
Yeah, why don't I help out? And Billy will kind of come in.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no, Billy.
Billy.
Shiv, and he'll.
Oh no!
Billy.
Oh no! Hello.
There it goes.
You're good.
Okay.
You had a
Okay.
hiccup. You're good.
Oh, love that. Yes, I think Billy will come in and kind of let me help out, and if he needs to prop open the latch with the shiv he has, and help her so she has the space to work while he holds it open.
Okay.
That's right. Now it's just me and the mushroom. The plan has worked. It's in. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna go over there, and obviously I'm gonna help. Seeing them tinker with it, and Grev is just gonna try his best just to forcefully open this and break it however he can just to get through. Whatever I have to do, I would use my strength to do that if I can. If there's enough clearance.
Go ahead, Cinnamon.
I'm just gonna suggest that maybe you pull because you're strong, but she looks like she knows how things works. So maybe she guides your hands in the right direction, so it doesn't just break it.
Right. I'm just letting you know that if you put your hands anywhere near my hands when I'm doing this, I may hurt you, and I don't want that to happen.
I didn't say me.
Fair warning.
I was talking about your friend.
Oh, I know. I'm talking to Tamazira right now.
Oh.
Tamazira knows if you're gonna get right in there, just say you got to be careful. But if you want to help point it out, I'll be glad to do it. I'll be happy to do it for you.
I can at least point you in the right direction, but I am
Okay.
not going to get my
Sure.
hands in there with yours.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
right.
it. It's just kind of cramped, It's just easier.
I would like to keep my fingers.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
not
good idea.
getting my hands
Yes.
a little messed up. Already are just about. So I know a thing or two about breaking and exiting.
All right. So then, how about we? I need 3 rolls actually, which is gonna be fun. I need
Great.
a strength roll from Grev. I need a
Got it.
finesse roll from Billy, and if Tamazira would like to give him help, you can do that. And that would be a hope from Tamazira, and then Billy, you get an extra D6. And then while
Thanks.
all of that is happening in Oakley, I need a sense roll from you.
Like that. While I'm doing this, since this is a job that requires both strength and being careful, would I be capable of doing that with my risky wrangler experience?
I feel like that seems very reasonable because Grev is twice your size, at least.
At a minimum. I rolled a, it's going to be 15 on hope for strength.
While Grev is doing all this, he hears in the back of his mind this very creepy voice of, all of the denizens of House Radisson are poisonous.
That is going to be 18 with hope.
Nice, with hope, too.
Called it.
Like the 18 zeros called it. No,
Knew she was poisonous.
so the first, like, you start to pull back and it starts to bend at first, and you can see the like, it starts to like almost break, and then Billy, you do your thing and kind of push down, and you know that like there's a hairlock to it all, and you know where to go. And so as Grev rips this giant piece of metal out of the wall, you see the whole thing goes, and it comes fly, like it just spring loads apart, and the whole lock just falls apart. And now the door is just there, and there's a little hole where the door handle used to be, and now you can hear movement outside the door. And what's your sense roll there?
I got 17 on hope.
And Oakley.
I'm keeping this handle. I'm storing it. I'm like,
storing
this is mine. This is mine now.
All right.
Souvenir.
Anocle, upon the door handle ripping off the door and them getting close to the door, I'm assuming Cinnamon immediately put her face to the door handle to see what's behind it.
She's looking outside where the missing handle is. She's looking outside to see what's outside.
The second all this happens, the second the door releases the lock and it's not this airtight lock anymore, you can hear the choir behind the door, Anocle, of everything that you were running from to begin with. And whether you are going to give them your backstory or not at this point, you know that upon this door opening, it's going to become prevalent what it is.
Uh-oh. Does anyone else hear that sound? Or do they have to physically press their ear or something to the door?
As Cinnamon goes to look through the door, you can see movement, but you also know that it's dark. Before
I can see in the dark.
This was a lighted hallway before, but now you realize that this is a pitch black with some. Every once in a while, you can see these like neon green flickers run up, like move past the lock.
I mean, she's gonna just try and light up the room because
the door's not open,
she's
mind you.
Wizard.
The door's.
Well, I know, but she can see into the room because of the hole. And her prestidigitation specifically says illuminate a room as one of the things it can do. Mm-hmm. So she's just she can't see, so she just tries to light it up when she can't see. Whether it works or not is entirely up to you.
What does your light spell look like?
My light spell kind of looks like a sourceless candlelight. You can't see where the candlelight is coming from. It's just the room now is suddenly bathed in a soft candlelight.
With all the atmosphere of a library in the afternoon, you can see just this soft wall against the candlelight. The wall that you were there before, but there's some scrapes to it now. And everything that was moving has stopped. There are things away, and you can hear a chittering here and there through this all.
Can we hear the chittering?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Can we all hear the chittering?
Yeah, everybody would hear the like almost like things are moving away from the door.
Well, that's
in your heads, you all hear a very hard F. As she says, Big Newtons.
What are those?
I agree with the mushroom.
Sounds like the brig in here.
Do you know something that we don't?
Yeah, probably. You don't seem to know a lot.
Oh,
All right, now let's not go back and forth at each other.
Reading is useful for knowing things. He seems like he knows how to hit things pretty hard, but he asked if knows something that he doesn't, and I was just answering that
A
likely
small,
he
a
does.
small, a small dialogue box pops up that says, "Grev will remember this."
oh.
Would you like to answer? That got me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She kind of looks around for a minute and you all hear in your heads, I was hoping it wouldn't move this fast.
Well,
What?
that's good. It's an it, so we don't
Okay,
have to worry
so-
about offending it. That's good.
Maybe more explanation would be great. Just a little more. What are it? What are crawling things? What are they? On a scale of screwed to we're dead, whereabouts are we? Oh, that's a long pause.
Is that like chittering getting closer as we like wait for a response?
Yeah, I'm
No.
concerned.
Is the door because she's leaning against it, looking out the door? So does it feel loose?
Yes.
Like it could just be pushed over?
Oh yeah, you can push the door open.
Yeah, she pushes it over.
Oh,
Why would you do
alright.
that? Why would you do that?
I love chaos.
She did it on purpose.
So your books are really good. Yeah,
You all ask, this, and you hear the door just as it opens, and there's a space that right there that's being lit up by her. Across the hall from you, there is a large, jagged hole in the metal steel frame that is dark on that side, and then you would know that next to you is room 01, and then there's a long hallway this way, and there's a door that would have been right here, because you all are at the L shape of the hallway. You're at the corner.
All right.
So you're looking at a hole that would lead into the room directly across from you. Other than that, it's the same room. Same hallway you all march down, that you know that you are a good 7-8 paces under the ground in a mine.
Are we all like peeking our heads out, barely out of the door?
Cinnamon is. She's.
And Oakley,
Is
if you
the-
want to add more to what they were asking, this would be your moment to say it as the door opens.
She kind of like, there was this moment where she kind of looked like she was distracted by a thought, and she looks towards the door and she says, and she responds with a, well, fire is not going to be your friend.
Fire.
Will be our friend.
Like, what do you mean?
Fire.
Does that mean water is a good idea?
When you see them, you're gonna think plants burn.
These are plant.
Okay. Are we in danger?
What
Yes.
should
Probably.
we do? If
Yes.
fire's a bad
Yes.
idea, what should
Just-
we do?
No. Who cares about fire? Are we in danger?
Obviously, what did you think the trials were going to be?
Well, I didn't know if it was a mysterious thing or not, but if we are, yes, finally, something interesting. And Billy sprints out the door.
And Oakley's just like, I like that one.
This is not a very good idea to just run out there. This.
Come on, Tamazira. I'm just gonna grab her and we're just gonna go after her.
Put me down!
Absolutely not. Let's go.
She has to look at Cinnamon and say, cold.
I was gonna
Hey,
ask if
what?
ice was gonna be.
I like grab their
Doesn't matter to me.
hand
Fist
and
is
start
fist.
pulling them along with me.
All right, so Billy's first. Billy, are you hit? Okay, so like I said, you're at the L shape of this room.
Yes.
So, like, you're all right here. There's a hallway
Yes.
this way and a hallway this way. You would have come from this way.
Okay.
Just
I think
tell
he's
me
gonna-
which direction we're going.
I think he's moving towards like the exit that he knows exists beforehand. So like just straight down the hallway and then it was to the right, just like where that
Yeah,
old door that we
straight.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
you
Yeah.
hit and turn, and I just want to say that there are no windows to many of these doors. Like there's this big steel like walkway that you're in, and as you turn, you realize that even without the darkness, without the light, this place that used to be decently kept, like I said, it's like your room. It was a little bit, it was dirty, but it wasn't like, it wasn't filth. You know what I mean? Now this whole place has been taken over by what looks like roots and twisting vines, and it looks like, for better or worse, there was a bloodbath here.
All right, whose wish was for the bloodbath and vines? Because this is not what I signed up. Well, it's kind of what I signed up for. Do I still get a wish out of this?
You get like two doors down, and you would hear the of everything moving, and then in the darkness you can see little lingering like pibs of what looks like phosphorescent, luminescent green, almost like leaving tracers as they kind of move across against different doorways or different things, mostly through this hole that is across the hallway from them. So now you are two doors down, they are right here, and I guess why don't you go ahead and give me an agility roll, see how fast you react to something.
Agility. You know what? I'll ask, can I add my swashbuckler to this? Because of course I'm used to fighting in tight spaces as a pirate.
I feel like, you know what? Yeah, go for it. If you want to spend the hope, I feel like that seems fine.
I'll spin the hope. Let's go for it. That is a 9 with hope.
9. I think that this is probably going to get the drop on you.
Yeah,
these
absolutely.
are so all at once you hear like a low like growl, and then this loud piercing screaming sound as these two large creatures rip out of the hole. One facing all of you guys in Grev, and then the other one looking straight down towards where Billy is. For description wise, these are this amalgamation of plant life and fungal growths. They're both standing about roughly 8 feet tall, with these sleek, sinewy frames made of these tight wooden vines that have bark. Its elongated head is crowned with this like chitinous fungal carapace. Think like a xenomorph, but made of vines and twisted up different like briars and thorns and stuff like that. Its limbs.
So nightmare fuel. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Its limbs are unnaturally long.
Yeah.
Its arms itself being about 4 feet long each. It kind of is hunched over. It looks very much like a xenomorph from the Alien series, if you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't kill it with fire.
It has 2 tails that at the back of them all have like these splayed. They look like cat o' nine tails at the back of them that follow them and kind of help them move through the air. And they have large taloned claws, and they have the 4 different mouths that open up from different sides of their face.
So Grev sees this with Billy. Like does Billy and Grev see this?
These are 2.
Yeah. I think Billy.
So I see this too. I'm gonna turn over my shoulder and yell after Eno and go, "Dead would have been fine. You could have said we're dead."
I think Billy hits like puppy like play stats, like wide stats stops in this hallway. Good evening.
Good evening.
As you do that, this thing that jumped out, it like slides close. It's almost like they're chasing you at this point. And it slides, it like slams into the side of the wall, and you can't see any eyes on it until it kind of blinks for a second, and then you see the row of 18 eyes on either side of its thing as it like makes the blink, and its mouth opens up, and I'm gonna have its one of the spore shooters shoot at you.
So
fantastic.
Real quick, this is important. How close am I to Billy?
There are two 8-foot creatures between you and Billy.
Oh yeah.
That'd
Okay.
be
Billy
fine.
took off
It's okay.
first.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm on your shoulder, Grev. I can't see anything. So I'm just feeling you run and then stop. Like
So what? All you see is like 18 eyes. Just all of a sudden, just.
Billy, do I hit you on a 12?
No, Billy's evasion is a 13.
There you go. So this thing opens its mouth, it screams, and you see this like well of light green, almost like fungal spores, and then you realize, oh, there's a barb. And as the barb shoots out, you kind of like jump backwards, and the barb slams into the ground and immediately shatters outwards, and you can see acid just slide past you.
Yeah, I think Billy, like, at the last second ducks it and, like, his head goes down, but the hat, like, flits down for a moment and gets hit by the barb. And
Oh no!
he's like, man, can't keep one of those for more than a week anyways.
The rest of you, actually, particularly, I think this would be Grev with Tamazira on his shoulder. Tamazira, you see the eyes open, and then its full head begins to, like, swivel, like it's going to turn around. But you guys have the drop on this one, so if everybody would like to discuss what they want to do,
I'm gonna throw Tamazira at you. I'm just kidding.
no, literally,
You want to?
I was
You
thinking,
want me to?
I want to like maneuver myself in such a way where like I kind of get out of your grasp, stand on your shoulders because I forgot to mention my height. I am only 5'3". So I like get onto your shoulders, both feet, and I like totally wouldn't mind having still both of my knives in my hand and just launch like Wolverine.
I'm gonna do that. I will assess her, and I will just like catapult her, like cheerleader style, like vaulting, like whatever I have to do. Just gonna throw her as hard as I can with as much. Well, obviously safe enough where I'm not gonna like. I don't want to throw her into a wall, clearly, but I want to throw her with enough force where there's a lot of oomph behind the throw, so to speak. I'm guessing that's strength. I'm guessing that's strength based. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but each of you need to talk through what you want to do because like it's a group thing.
Okay.
I was gonna say while they're throwing each other, just said cold to Cinnamon, so Cinnamon turns and looks out and sees the two creatures. So she's like cold, and so she's basically going to use an ability called Ice Spikes, but she would have flavored it either way, to summon some ice up from the ground and start freezing them from the ground up.
Nice.
Or attempt.
That's awesome.
Keep them in place for the good stabby.
Oh, I was about to say, what if they freeze over and like we throw Tamazira and just shatters? That'd be so cool. Like I'm just visually, I can see that happening in my head. Obviously, that's not going to be the case, but it'd be cool. It'd be cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah, what's Eno doing?
Sorry. I can't do that one. We'll do. Okay, yeah. She's going to there's this kind of moment where she swipes her hand under the cap of her head, and then this bolt of spores flies towards the one that's closest between them. Originally it's called Bolt Beacon, but we're calling it Spore Bolt.
Nice. All right, so
that.
we have the two casts, we have the throw, daggers. Billy, you?
I mean, he's kind of one-on-one with this creature in front of him right now, so I think he's just gonna kind of do what he does best, just kind of try and weave under its guard. He has this little shiv, and he's gonna kind of go for this thing's legs first, and if he gets there, we'll talk about what happens afterwards, I guess.
All right. So a good like maneuver roll from you. So an agility roll against this difficulty, and then Grev, give me a strength roll, I guess. But realistically, it'd be like on advantage, so you add the +6 to it because I don't feel like you're gonna have trouble throwing Tamazira at this thing. It just doesn't.
We've totally practiced this before. One time.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Totally.
And then
we knew this.
Your guys' spell rolls and then your attack rolls are just fine.
So you say plus 6 to this roll?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cocked.
Does a 16 hit?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
17 with hope, and the damage will go to both of them because it's
Yeah, splayed.
of them. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's 17 with hope. Definitely hits. Good job.
I mean, I need to read something here. The plus 6, does that go automatically to my hope? Sorry, I know.
It goes to the overall roll. Grev rolled on fear.
I'm
is
so
what he said.
That's what I heard.
sorry. I'm so sorry,
fine.
Tamazir. You're about to be smushed.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not good. It's not good.
Oh.
A 14 with fear.
Okay, cool. This is gonna be fun. 14 is their difficulty.
I rolled on hope.
We play make it. I'm gonna. So 14 is their difficulty. I play make it take it. So,
Okay.
But you did roll on fear, so that'll be a thing. First thing that's gonna happen is the ice is gonna go off. The ice is gonna go off. So, by all means.
So I rolled max damage, so it's 12 points of magic damage to each of them.
Okay.
As the cold starts freezing up from under their legs and crawling up their roots and vines.
Very good, very good. Yeah, and you watch as like the first one gets stuck in place, and the second one, the cold like goes up to it, like runs up it very fast. So Ina was very correct. Cold is very, very good very effective against these things. These vine creatures for some reason just it's almost like there's like a membrane on them that freezes over, and you can see it like crack, and they begin to stop being as effective as they were before. Grev, what did you roll?
Do I have to tell you? I don't know if I really have to tell you. I don't think I have to tell you.
Please don't kill me.
You're dead.
What did you
Oh.
roll?
I rolled a 21 on fear.
That's
Oh.
fine though.
Mm.
Oh, you succeeded.
That's
You can
high.
I
still
rolled a
succeed
19.
with fear.
Yeah, you
on
can
hope.
succeed on fear. It's high.
I was just worried about the fear part because I rolled a 2 and a 10 on my fear, and I was like,
Oh.
whoa.
So
Not great.
So
Right there with you.
he throws you a little bit harder than you would have liked, and you really slam into this thing. And while it's being frozen over, it doesn't have as much udge as it used to. So now it's kind of like him throwing you against the wall, and you just kind of launch into this thing, and its eyes are going. We'll get to you in just a moment. You can roll your attacks. Ina,
Okay.
what did you roll?
I rolled a 9 in damage because I rolled a 16 on hope.
Okay, so a 9 in damage against the first one, right?
Yeah, the one closest to us.
Okay.
And it becomes vulnerable, which means Temazera's attack gets advantage.
Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
There's like this sparkle of this soft pink moss that grows up the side of this frozen thing. Just kind of like hit here.
Okay. Because he rolled on fear and because Billy rolled on fear, as you are slamming into this thing, your attacks will happen at the same time that it attacks you. Because that's
Okay.
how fear works. I get to spotlight one of my characters. Billy, you are in range to attack it now, and it is going to have difficulty to hit you because that's what we just did. But
Okay.
it does get to swing on you with disadvantage.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
We will do that real quick. The first attack against Billy, 18 minus 2, a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Okay, and then that will go ahead and very good. So it slashes down and it just kind of catches you on the back end with its claws, which do 6 damage, physical damage, basically,
Gotcha.
not magical. But
Heard that.
at the same time, because now you're underneath of it and it is moving so much and it is being frozen, as it kind of cracks, you can watch as it hurts itself, and as it takes damage, some of that that neon green liquid begins to fall out of it, and you will take two acid damage as well.
Ooh, so that's 8 total.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna mark armor slot down. I still have my clothes would count as like the armor and stuff. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like confiscated. Okay, yeah. So that'll bring that down by 3 to a 5, which will just mark 1 HP on Billy.
Very good. This thing is gonna turn, and its tail is gonna try and swipe towards, like almost like trying to get you off of it, Tamazira. So
Okay.
I'm gonna make 2 attacks against you, and then you'll have your attacks back, of course.
Cool.
I think the first one, I don't actually know. Do I hit you on a 14?
You do.
Okay, so the first one hits, and the second one misses wildly. So the first one is kind of the same deal as Billy. It'll do 7 physical damage, which is like this raking against your back, but and then it'll do 1 acid damage, so 8 damage overall. So exactly the same as Billy.
8. Okay. All right. So I rolled a 19 and a 16, both on hope.
Yeah, you definitely gonna slice this thing in half.
Perfect. And I also wanted to, because we had the advantage on this, I wanted to use my Rogue's Hope. Actually, no, not Rogue's Hope. The sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do the sneak attack. Let's see. So I get to add a d6 to my damage roll.
Very good.
I need to spend my hope. So there we go. 2d8.
And I can make an attack roll after this too.
Yep.
Is how this is just like should I be rolling it at the same time? Since this is like a sequence.
Yeah, by all means.
Gotcha. Okay. So then, yeah, I'll make. Go ahead, Tim.
I've got 2 damage rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have 13 for my first one, and 10, 16 for my second one.
You kill it. Go ahead.
Awesome.
So
yeah.
Go ahead and describe yourself as this thing is eviscerated, and the other one is facing down Billy, facing away from you both.
So, I launch into it, knives out, just stabbing. I want to stab into its head, basically into 2 of its eyes, or however many I would get with them being spaced. I don't know how they're spaced. And I kind of want to stab and then drag towards myself.
Yeah, it has this long crown of eyes, and you just kind of drag through a bunch of these different eyeballs, and you watch as the crown starts to it just rips open, and there is this moment where you can see the inner workings of it for just a moment. It's all these vines that are pushing barbs out. It's almost like it is like loading a gun to be shot, and then before it can shoot the barb, it just kind of and collapses downwards, and as it collapses, it just becomes vines and splayed out different fungal things. And there's a moment you realize that there are a lot of these vines all over the walls, and so that would mean that an equal amount of these things probably died as to the other things that died in this hallway. And
snap.
Billy, now I would say, Billy, you can make your attack, but also Grev, you did the throw, and I would say that you all have another go of this right now. But Grev,
I was just waiting for them to be done.
I would say that Grev, you are definitely in poised right there to attack this one right in front of Billy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna, in that case, Billy, if you don't mind.
Billy, by all
What's up?
Billy's gonna make his attack because he already rolled.
Yeah.
But Grev, you
okay? Why don't you go first? I'll go after you. You go first. I'll go after you because I want to see what you do first.
So I got a 16 on to roll with hope. On this. And so that's another hope. I'm gonna spend 2 of those with my Call of the Slayer to add 2d6s to the damage roll on top of the dice for the actual small dagger, which is 2d8 plus 2. So that's 17 plus 3, plus another 3 because I'm going to mark a stress, and I'm going to kick this thing up into the ceiling.
Okay. Yeah, so Billy underneath this thing kind of launches it. It's the ceiling. It's kind of like it kind of hits the ceiling for a second. It looks like it's about to bounce back and attack him. But Grev, if you'd like to add on to this whole mess, by all means.
Yeah, if he's pushing it up to the ceiling, I want to take my handy dandy little. I feel like I'm doing a Blue's Clues thing. I want to take my my door handle latch metal, my giant shiv, and I'm just gonna run and jump as far as I can upwards and try to stab it into the ceiling, kind of like shish kebab it a little bit towards the ceiling itself.
Seeing Red trying to jump up to the ceiling, Cinnamon is going to like push the air under his feet, and basically I'm just going to give the help action. I'm going to spend a hope to give you advantage on your roll.
Ooh, thank you.
Nice.
As he assists lifting you up to reach.
Sure. Give me the attack on advantage.
Oh,
Okay, excellent.
I totally forgot about my not good enough too. All of my d6s were 1s and 2s.
Oh God! Yeah, you can roll all those.
So I reroll all of them. So that's
just give me the
17.
damage.
17 plus 19 is 36.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We're gonna go ahead. What's up, Grev?
Math is up.
We're
12,
math dice.
so my 12 plus my 3, which is 15. But I'm also going to go ahead and since I'm going to spend a hope, and I'm going to make them vulnerable for whatever that's worth. I'm going to make them vulnerable as I hit them. I get to add an additional.
I don't want you to.
I did that to the one that killed.
The other one. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because that's the one that was killed, right? Was the IC?
Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure.
Thank you. I'm going to make it temporarily vulnerable. I'm going to do so that's a 15 on hope to hit it,
including the d6 from help.
No, not including the d6. Sorry, so that'd be 21 on hope.
Great.
To hit.
Between you and Billy, you will kill this one.
Okay, so I would like to, as I'm stabbing it, I mean, it's a 1d6 damage, but I also, because of my forceful push, I also get to push it out of melee range. But since it's skewered into the ceiling, what I was kind of hoping to do was kind of almost like force, like almost Star Wars, use the force and kind of just like split it in half, kind of like make it separate since it's vines, kind of like the forceful push action in there. Mm-hmm. And kind of just splinter it apart as best as I could after stabbing it into the ceiling.
Yeah, after Billy does all of what he did and he then kicks it up, you kind of jump up and slam, like the air pushes you a little bit more than you imagined you were about to get this jump. You got lift basically, and you just hit this thing and it just erupts outwards. And
beautiful.
You all are now standing in this room or this hallway of low lit, and you can start to hear other from like way behind you down the L-shaped hallway. You can hear more of this chittering and it sounds like things are trying to open doors.
Time to go, friends. Time to go. Now it's time to go.
Billy is just gonna keep moving forward. There is a weird smile on his face. He is enjoying himself despite the situation.
As we're moving down the hallway, Cinnamon makes a little like paints a little rune in the air a few times and then taps the shoulders of Tam, Grev, and Billy and gives each of you guys Tava's armor.
Ooh.
Which is when you get an additional d6 to your armor score the next time you mark an armor slot.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Okay, d6 to my armors. Okay.
To answer...
Yeah, so you'll roll a d6 the next time you decide to mark an armor slot, and it'll increase your armor score by that much.
That's awesome.
Gotcha.
For the single time.
To answer the question I saw. Go ahead. What's the question, actually?
Because my question got answered in chat.
Okay, great.
about the hope stuff, but I have another question because I see these armor slots and I don't think those have really been explained.
Oh,
So
okay.
could you explain those, please?
Yeah. So when you get hit, if you you have an armor score, what is your current armor score?
12.
That's your
Oh,
evasion.
no,
No.
3.
3. Okay.
3.
So say I was to hit you for 9.
Yeah.
You could say, okay, I'm gonna mark an armor slot and take 3 damage off of that. You can mark as many armor slots as you want to remove damage from things.
Oh.
And so then Tava's armor is just for that first armor slot that you mark. Your next one that you mark, you get to roll a d6, and it
Yeah.
increases by that amount. For
So you exchange an armor slot for extra armor, what
And-
she's talking about.
And the way you get armor back is during your rests, you choose things to do. Short rests and long rests are very important in Daggerheart. They're awesome. You actually feel like you're doing stuff during them, and you can repair your armor. You can find if you find new armor, you can put them on and get your armor slots back. There's different ways to do it, but basically during short rests and long rests, you can repair your armor and get your armor slots back.
So would we say, because I have 2 marked from last session, would you say that we would be back to like a full no?
This is the first session. There was no last session.
So I was hit for 8. Instead, I could have reduced my damage to just 5.
You could reduce your damage to nothing if you wanted to not mark enough armor slots off. Yes.
Well, how do...
So each one is 3. So each one is 3 reduction.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, each slot, each mark is 3 reduction for you. And so if you were
Gotcha.
hit by 8, you could say, I'm going to mark 3 off, and I'm not going to take any damage.
Gotcha.
And it cost me 1 hope for each of those Tava's armors, so I marked off the 3 hope for them.
And while she gave me that, I am going to, if it's okay with you really quickly, so I can spend one of these prayer dice that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to look at Cinnamon, give Cinnamon a high five, and say thanks for the jump bump.
She she has to jump really high.
I'm gonna come down a little bit. I'll come down a little bit so you can at least make contact. I'm not gonna expect you to jump 7.5 feet. We'll give a high five, and I will give you one of the rolled prayer dice that I have, so that you gain back 4 hope.
Ooh, thank you.
You are welcome.
Grev hears an Oakley in his head. It's not often you get boosted up, huh?
No. Nope. Nope. Definitely not. That was definitely an experience that I'm gonna. Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. So much fun.
I also want everyone to know that Grev is just replying to nothing. They didn't hear her comment.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm having such a good time.
I mean, Cinnamon knows what's going on because we have already discussed the.
You all running down this hallway. You can see other doors. Some doors have been bent in half. Some doors are open. Some doors are still shut and sealed. I would say that as you all are running, and I guess Inokle is jellyfishing her way down the hallway. In the back of your head, Inokle, you can just hear the word harvest being said over and over again.
I imagine that Cinnamon's still pulling Inokle by her arm, and so she's just fluttering as Cinnamon's pulling her along.
Zero, are you okay? But I'm so sorry. I threw you way harder than I wanted to. That was my bad. It was my bad. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? You good? You good? Okay. Hey, Billy, good teamwork, by the way, buddy.
Hey, always
Good looks.
appreciate a helping hand. You see that as he runs by, he grabs his hat with a hole on it, off the floor, shakes off some of the acid, puts it on, one of his horns is kind of sticking through it.
The hallway is a long one. It was a bit of a walk, and I remember I said you were all at the very last room.
Yep.
It's dark. There are still some flickering ambient lights that look like they are leading you back towards that one big collective room you all were in. And there's a lot more roots down this way and splayed briars, and it looks like some different bodies that have been pinned up against the wall that have been either torn in half, or some of them have plants growing out of their chests. This is it begins like there's a lot more people this direction, or a lot more things this direction, but nothing moving.
As soon as she starts seeing the ripped up bodies, Cinnamon is going to trace the rune again and put it on herself and Anoakley as well. So Anoakley, you also have Tava's armor now.
I think
How long ago have these bodies been dead?
Oh, Anoakley, let's see here. Why don't you give me a knowledge roll, Anoakley?
I think as the mages kind of do their thing, Billy kind of leans in the grave. Told you there's never been a vegetable that's made someone smile.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great.
I rolled a 20 on hope.
20 on hope. Sometime within the past 24 hours.
Would you consider that recently?
Yes.
Cool. I would like to reach out and touch one of these things. One of the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I can extract one memory related to a specific emotion or sensation. And I want to see the memory of like just before their death.
I'm going to give you 3 choices of bodies then. There is one that is it looks like a giant very similar to Grev, not the guy that was pinned up against the wall that blah 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 from before, but large giant gentleman like Grev. There is a lizard person that has a very cool green skin tone that looks like it has the plant actually growing out of his stomach. And then there is a gnome or halfling or smaller gentleman that has been pieced apart, but his torso and his head is still there. That's a nice way of saying that. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Got it. Visually, very got it.
Sorry.
Yep.
That
That's good.
A little off the cuff there.
Let's
Sorry.
Right, let's go with that one.
All right. Do you have to roll anything for this?
Nope.
Beautiful. You kind of like rest your hand on this gnomish fellow, and you realize that he was in a party. He was in one of these, like, this very much like you all. You can feel hunger on him in his memory, and they push open this door, and there is a lot of movement in front of you. They did this much earlier than you guys, and there is just a hallway of things going back and forth, attacking each other. There's large stone elementals and these large treants fighting these massive 8-foot tall things, but there are like 50 of these 8-foot tall fluoromorph looking things that are going back and forth. They are all coming from the room that you guys are currently going towards, and it's like the horde of them coming out of this one room. You can hear the screaming, and as he turns, you can hear him say, "Well, we just need to make a wall." And the large gentleman and the lizard guy kind of stand in front of him. He begins to cast a spell, and then he feels his hand touch backwards, and he looks, and it rips out of his socket. And he stops, and the fear on his face sits for a second as the barbs rip through the back of his lizard friend, and you can see through the doorway that you all are approaching, larger xenomorph thing directing all of these things. I'm going to call them fluoromorphs now because that's what they're called. And
more.
the floor morphs are being directed by this much larger one. But behind him, there's an elevator. And the elevator is what brought you all down to that room to begin with. And on that elevator, you see this girl closing the doors to hide it. And that is his last memory before the rest of him is pulled apart.
Okay.
While Eno is getting this memory, I think Billy's just gonna keep a general, I don't, maybe not eye, but ear out for if there's any like chittering that's getting closer.
From behind you all, definitely.
Oh boy!
All right.
Once
All
you all
right,
made
where
enough
to?
noise, now there is more things coming back towards you. The things you
I
thought
would-
would be called harvesters.
Oh boy!
I will make sure that if I'm hearing this, I want to be in front of everybody and just kind of block whatever they're doing, and just kind of Grev wants to be basically like the front person to everybody else being behind him.
In the memory you got, the two large doors were open. Currently, they are closed in front of you. So somebody would have
Can
to.
I make? Can I make out if that girl was a mushroom or a humanoid?
It was a human. Oid.
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 It's so weird to
Oid.
say things are human in fantasy worlds when you're like, it was a tiefling. You know what I mean? Like, it was a humanoid.
Yeah, right, yeah. Human, Oid.
It's like, it was human, but, short, so that we called it a dwarf. I don't know. Like, fuck.
Specific, and was it a mushroom?
It
Which
was-
was really all she would have wanted to know.
It was not a
Okay.
mushroom. It was no one like you. Ooh.
But you were saying the door had to be pried open.
Yes, the big doors are there. They don't need. You don't know if they've been pried open or not. They're closed. The arena doors are closed, but in your memory they were open. So something has happened in between this time to have closed them.
So sorry, I'm just trying to picture this. So the door that just saw in her memory is closed, and that's to like our right, I'm guessing, or
It's
like
right in front of you.
Oh, it's right in front of us.
Yes, you all are standing in front of the two
Oh, I
large
see.
doors that lead to the arena, and the
Okay.
arena is where
Okay.
you all were. And then at the
Right,
end,
right, right.
The room that we were
So
in.
we were going backwards to go to
And then-
our area. Okay, got it.
At the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
end of the arena is this large elevator, lift, if you would, that would bring you up and down, and that's how you got into the
Oh,
arena.
currently nobody's opened the door yet, right?
This
Everybody's
door-
still.
no. Behind you, coming from the direction you all were in, you can hear the more things starting to scrape through, and
Right, and that's where Grev is
Yeah.
standing. Okay, I'm
Yes.
just making sure. Okay.
there you are.
And I think Billy will, though he speaks, kind of calls out, all right, losing ground backwards, so we might as well go forward. But I think he will move up to stand beside Grev as he kind of like twirls like this like little shiv between his fingers. Don't worry about me, big guy. I'll work around you.
That's awesome.
I'm just gonna kind of like, with his makeshift shiv that he has, I'm just gonna ting my little metal door hand. I don't even know what it is. Lock mechanism handle. We're just gonna go ting.
It's just
I
the
like-
These
bar
guys
on the wall.
were fighting here. Is there like any of their like weapons or gear on the ground?
Somebody asked. Yes.
Oh, that's a really good point. Oh, that'd be really good. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy.
yes.
Thank you,
there
Billy.
is,
Try to stay resourceful.
the lizard man used a large glaive, and the other giant gentleman like Grev had two axes.
Oh.
Oh my.
I mean-
oh my.
I think.
Well, they're looking
I
at
want-
weapons.
I
Yes.
want a glaive. I'm taking the
I
big
think,
guy's glaive.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Billy will like look around, like see the glaive, and like do like the little like hockey stick, like kick it up into his hand, toss it over to Grev for reaching down and grabbing the two axes himself, like twirling them around. All right, ice and dice, let's roll.
I'm still keeping my lock mechanism. This thing is going to be a treasure someday.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon is just walking to the doors and is just gonna try and open them as if she was going through them, because sometimes things just aren't locked.
Beautiful. Yes, you would see the doors are heavy. You going to open them realize they are not locked. They are just heavy. And as this happens, as she begins to push on these doors, and anybody standing there, Eno's coming out of this memory, you would see the 9 or 10 of these other floor morphs begin to turn this corner, and the one sees you, makes eye contact with Grev with all of its bajillion eyes, and they start racing straight towards you.
Okay, good.
Oh.
Good. How? This is stupid.
Actually, this is a really funny moment. Would you give
This
me
is
a
stupid.
strength roll, Cinnamon?
Absolutely.
Oh no.
I'm going to spend stress to double think outside the box
Mm-hmm.
for just opening a door.
She's like, leverage, yo. No, but
Leverage, yeah.
I read this in a book once.
I saw this in a pirate movie.
I saw this in a pirate movie.
Okay, it'll be a 16, but with fear.
It begins to budge and it cracks, and light kind of washes out of it.
Wait, sorry, Wei. I can, with my prayer dice, it says that I can aid one of my allies that's within range. So I can spend the dice value. So actually, if I aid them, is it that she could roll with advantage, or would it be that I can add, because it says I can reduce any incoming damage, add to any result after the roll?
You can add the result from your prayer dice to hers.
Okay, right, because I'm standing far away from her, so I wouldn't be able to exactly aid her. That makes sense.
You just give me like a Seraphy boost.
Well, I have my second prayer dice, which was also a 4. I will spend that to add that to a result.
So 20 on fear.
Yes.
Great. At first you're like pushing, and you can see the light kind of washes out of it, and as this light washes against you, for whatever reason, you feel like this like brush, and one of Grev's there's like this like feathery, like almost a phoenix wing kind of like pushes against you, and it just nudges the door open a little bit more. And now the door is open just enough that you all could slide into this door. Grev would have a little bit of a harder time doing so, but he could do it.
Okay.
That's the point.
That's okay.
And so this door is just cracked just enough. These are large steel doors, mind you. Like they are meant to be opened by multiple humanoids. And
Oids.
But as this door cracks, you realize that the inside of this place is still kind of pristine, like it was left.
It's clear. Get in here. If we can shut the door, I can lock it so they can't follow us. Like magically lock it. It would take them a really long time.
I'm gonna look at Billy. I'm gonna look at Billy and the rest of you guys and say, "Go." I'll be right behind you guys. Just go. Go.
I'll be right behind you. The heroism, but this one seems like more of a speed type of deal. You go on ahead since you're gonna have a hard time getting through.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up Billy and I'm just gonna toss him. I'm gonna pick up Billy and say, "Go."
Anyway, who's the last person to go through this door?
Me. It's gonna be Grev.
Give me an agility roll.
Yeah.
Against mine.
I told you.
Solid. Hey, listen, I'm just playing as Grev would do, and he wants to protect his friends and his allies. That's what he does.
I'm spending a hope to give you advantage, so you get a d6.
Nice.
She is using her magic to try and like grease the opening to make it a slicker opening.
Could I
just baby oil Grev up?
Yep.
Great.
That's
could I? This is up to you. This is up to you, DM. I will spend whatever hope you want me to, but for flavor, since everybody thinks that Grev is not very quick, which is fine, I want to shoot out my wings out of my back and literally dig in my heels into the dirt, and I want to shoot off and kind of almost like basically give myself a push with my wings to help with the speed of me moving forward and trying to get through the doors.
Cool.
Which I will spend whatever you want me to spend on it. I have hope. I have enough hope. Hopefully.
Spend a hope and add +2 to it.
Okay. Because I need it because I have a +0 agility. So I need anything out of it.
You also add a d6 to it all.
Because I'm
okay.
hoping.
Okay, nice. Okay, so 12, 6, 2, 8. 20 on hope.
Okay.
20
So
on hope.
you all get into this room, except for Grev. We'll talk about Grev in a second. So you guys get into the room, and she Cinnamon, you turn and you grease the opening,
Yep.
for better or worse.
Well, she like grease. It's just she's basically trying to use her magic to make the edges like softer, so if he tries to squeeze through, it won't.
No, it's perfect. I love it. I love the idea that this is funny to me. Grev's wings rip out of him, and the one that already helped kind of open the door kind of like locks in place, and you see like this almost like this little aura around him for a second, and he begins to run and take off, and it looks like he's gonna make the door just right, and then a couple barbs slam into his shoulders as he hits the doorway, and there's this moment of the first time you ever feel this poison. Please give me a strength roll.
Sure.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll damage.
Strength roll, that would be an 11. I don't think I add anything else to this, do I?
I'm sure you add your strength to it.
No, besides that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that would be an 11.
Okay, so great. We're gonna stay strong on the story. So the first barb will do 17 damage to you, and the second barb does 22. And as the second barb hits, it kind of like flowers open, and as it like takes root into you, you can feel your body begin to weaken for a moment, and you have this flash of your childhood for just a brief moment, because you're sitting here trying to do this race. You used to race all the time against your friends. You have you're looking around and you remember the only other person from your village that was as big as you growing up, named the Boulder, who you used to foot race with all the time. And he always used to edge you out just a bit, because for whatever reason, it would be like racing All Might, if you get what I mean, where it's like this guy just takes off. And yeah. So like you have all these memories of you just almost beating him, always coming second, and then the last time you raced him before you fought Steel Shaper, you beat him. And it was this big moment, because it was like that time, and you can feel your speed getting up that far. You can feel the push. It's like you pushing your way out of a dream. And then you realize that you've collided with the doorway, and this branch that has opened up and pierced your shoulders has opened up, made it so that you can't close the door. It's bloomed, so you're going to have to tear it off.
Can I help?
Of course.
I will say.
I've got knives.
Through the door, and the branch
Hold on.
is blocking the door, or is he on the other side of the door?
Hold on 1 second, because I just took an astronomical amount of damage that I would like to try to mitigate, please.
He is inside the door, and the branch is outside the door, but it is this large, bloomed. It has like these putrid-looking white and purple flowers on them. The purple being like this dripping. Almost think of it like the way ink caps look. It's dripping, but it's like become sticky, so it's like holding the door open, and it's starting to like branch out further and trying to like get further. Almost like it knows that it's trying to keep the door open for all the other Floramorphs as they tear straight down. So there's not a lot of time to think about this. This is literally we need to cut this off or rip off your arm.
Don't forget that for the first armor slot you use,
It's
you
the
get
+6.
an additional D6.
Yes.
D6, yep.
But this is a
So you said, I'm sorry, what was for the first one, Way? I'm so sorry.
7.
It was 17 and 22.
17. I have an armor of 7.
Uh-huh.
Which means each armor slot I mark off. If I mark off 3, that will basically null that. I'll take no damage from that.
Yep.
And the second one was 22.
Mm-hmm.
I have only 4 armor slots left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might not need to mark off 3 armor slots, because depending on what you roll from your D6.
Yeah, you get an extra D6 for your first armor slot.
Right. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So I should do that now first. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yes,
that makes total sense.
Yes.
That's a 5.
Massive.
So your
Great
first armor
roll.
slot is worth 12.
Woo!
So you use it
So
to 5.
12, 19. So so only I need 2
17 to
armor
5.
slots. Oh, you're
Yeah.
the best.
Oh.
Thank you, Cinnamon.
Well, you
So-
can still take HP without like marking
I know.
all your armor.
That's why I'm trying to
Yeah.
like kind of balance it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Because if the 20 something is going to mark 3 HP, and I don't necessarily feel that's a great thing. Although thematically speaking, I'm going to mark 3 HP. I think I don't want to ruin what you've set up, and I think that's pretty brutal. No, but I think it's a pretty brutal attack that Grev would have like it would totally catch him off guard. So I'd rather take I'm going to mark the 3 HP.
So
I'm going to mark the 3 HP.
Is it dark?
yes.
Perfect.
Oh, no.
Awesome. So
Terrifying.
I
Is it
would
dark?
like to use my Nightwalker spell, and instead of like making any physical movement towards Grev to help, I would like to just appear and slice through the blooming flower.
Cool. Yes. Does that need a spell roll or anything like that to do Nightwalker?
So-
I believe so.
Let's see. For Shadow Stepper, you can move from the shadow to from shadow to shadow. When you step into the shadow cast by another creature or object, so I'm assuming, or in an area of darkness, mark a stress to disappear from where you are and
That's what it is.
reappear inside any other shadow within a far range. When you do, you are hidden. So I guess I just mark a stress.
Yeah, I just need the stress, and then I need the attack roll.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
So this I'm gonna explain. So this attack roll is really going to be against the difficulty of the floor morph that is closest to getting to you.
Okay.
Because you are not able to fail cutting a flower. That's all I'm gonna say. Like you're
Right.
gonna do that, but it's how fast you do it is what we're looking at right now.
Okay.
So go for it. And I
Sweet.
think that because of your Shadow Stepper, you'd have advantage. But
Okay, I was about
Cinnamon,
to ask.
what's happening with you?
I mean, Cinnamon is going to reach out and like touch the branch and try to use power push to both damage it and fling it to far range down the hallway.
Although I'm fine with that, don't get me wrong. I really think that she'd probably beat you to it with the Shadow Step thing.
Oh, no, she can go first. I'm just saying she's
okay, and then have
reaching
it
up
fly away.
to
Beautiful.
yeah.
So it's kind of like removing an arrow. The way I'm picturing it in my head
that's
is
what
like
I'm kinda...
you're taking off the arrowhead and then pushing out the shaft, so to speak.
Beautiful.
So I rolled a 17 with hope.
Top of this. Oh, I was gonna see if I could toss you an assist.
Oh, sick.
Is Billy kind of playing into the born cowboy here, one of his experiences. But I'd like to use his fawn trait, which allows him to leap up to close range in chasms without making an agility roll. But I'd like him to just leap straight upwards and through the gap in the doorway, like thread the needle with the shiv and toss it towards whatever is coming towards the two of them to help, like, give them some cover.
Ooh. Okay. You make an attack roll. You already made an attack roll. Your attack roll went fine.
You need my
Question.
damage.
I have 3 hope. Can we team attack this?
If somebody wants to team attack, actually, what would be interesting if you wanted to make that team attack with her shooting the branch off with the thing. I think that would be
absolutely.
very reasonable.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So
I'll spend the 3 hope
as
here.
long as you guys hit, Tamazira won't take any damage for this.
Yeah, so I'll spend the 3 hope here, right? And then I can roll to attack.
And then I'm gonna use my Seaborn token that I got because I rolled with Fear earlier. So I'm gonna give myself an additional token for my
I'll
roll.
use mine as well.
and I'm going to spend a stress to use Too Dang Curious because that's what started this whole dang thing.
I love it.
And I rolled a 18 with hope.
I rolled a 15 with fear.
let's go with the 18 with hope then.
Yep.
Yeah, great. So Tamazira appears, rips this thing off, and then you watch as this ship flies past you and slams into the face of the faceplate of one of these floor morphs, just kind of cracking it a little bit. And right as that cracks, I'm going to assume the two of you together are going to do more than 12 damage.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Probably.
Probably.
Because so you'll do the 2 HP worth of damage, or something I'm looking for. They all have 4 HP. I'm just gonna tell you out loud, but the 2 HP worth of damage is what I wanted to slow it down. So
Yeah.
we're on point here.
It also gets flinged back to far range because
Right.
power push.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. The thing hits, and it's just you watch as this one kind of falls back, and the other like 5 or 6 begin to jump over it. Now all we need is the door to be closed.
Can I push the door closed since I seem to be the closest?
Yes, if you would like. Does somebody want to help her push the door closed? You two are currently
Please,
doing
I'm gonna-
something. So
Well, if I am
Yeah.
like now able to actually get out of the door's way after they've cut off the plant,
Yep.
I would like to like immediately turn around and with all my strength, I want to help push the door closed as quickly as I can, if at all possible, or like even with one, if I can help close one side of the door, whatever
It's
is possible.
just full-on crack door. So then, if you two want to give me a strength roll together, I would need to also then inquire during all of this time. Anokle, what are you doing?
I am looking around because we just run into a room without really knowing what's in it.
Well, you saw a little bit of what was in it before.
Well, that's not fun.
Oh, no.
So, first, what did you all roll for the strength roll? Mostly because I'm trying to gather fear off of you people, but that's okay.
19 with hope. My hope dice has really got my back tonight.
Yeah, y'all be doing a lot of good stuff with hope here.
I don't have any more hope slots to
Hey.
fill.
Don't
That's
worry.
that's a
Use your
fu-
experiences. Give yourself bonuses on your roll.
I'm not sure. All his life, Griff has always opened and shut doors all the time. It was a very normal thing for him to do.
Mhm.
Can I please?
What'd you roll?
And,
Rev?
I don't. A 5.
Oh.
5.
How did I make a higher roll than you on strength?
Yeah, I
with
don't
my
want to
negative
talk
1?
about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, did you roll 2 ones?
No, I rolled a
Damn.
2 and a 12 on my fear die, so that's a total of. Well, it would be higher. It's going to be. Sorry, I had it backwards. So excuse me. So it's still a 15. Sorry, on fear, not a 5 on fear. Excuse me, 15 on fear rather.
Oh, 15's fine. Doesn't
Yeah.
if you roll on fear, it's okay.
No, I know. It's just funny that I can't close a. I feel like I should be able to close a door.
Well, you know what? You're wounded currently, buddy.
That's
But-
true.
I was going to say, you were just
Ow.
poisoned, homie.
Yeah.
Ow.
man. Grev, like with the Tamazira is like pushing the door closed, and Grev kind of like lazily turns, and just puts his hand in, just like falls against the door. And Grev is now like on his knees, just his head against the door, like, okay, it's closed.
He's leaned and kind of just pressing his body into it. Meanwhile, Tamazir's like using all of her bodily strength. Like,
And then Cinnamon is going to use Runic Lock on the door,
I love it.
which infuses the lock,
Loves it.
and it can only be opened by people that I choose. The spell can be broken by magic, but it takes an hour. So
Cool. Okay, Anokle, the center of the room. While they're doing this, Anokle, you're inspecting the room. There's still that one the upwards area that is covered in vines and everything. There is no throne anymore where the fawn was sitting originally. This is an open arena that once was a lot of gravel and dirt. Now there is what looks like grass and weeds that have like clung together, almost like they've sprouted through the dirt itself. There is a large mound in the middle that is opened up and has like a tunnel to it, and it looks like maybe these big things kind of tunneled through the ground to get here, or something spawned them through this whole thing. But you also would see that there is a lot of damage to this tunnel. It looks like it's been corroded, almost like almost like it's been aged. You're looking at it. You know how Anokle, your background allows you to know a lot about this thing. And you're looking at this tunnel, and it looks like it's been here for years. But that doesn't make sense because you all were just here a couple days ago, standing in this room without this tunnel. And your memory serves you through that last thing that you saw, that there is a covered lift door somewhere against the wall on the other edge of this arena. There are no dead bodies in this arena. There are no dead floor morphs. There are lots of these like blown up pieces of like the briars and all of the vines and stuff like that, but you don't see any of the chitin or any of the there's no ichor, there's none of the phosphorescence. It doesn't look like there's been fighting in this area. Just for whatever reason, this specific area looks like it has been aged immensely beyond what is outside these doors.
I think as things go quiet, a moment of contemplation crosses Billy's face before he goes, "Oh, my knife."
No.
Speaking of which, around the edges of the room would have been all the different combatants' weapons and stuff they came in with.
Ooh.
My knife.
So
My stuff. My stuff. I get my
everybody's
stuff.
stuff is around, and so you would have to look around and find yours. It would take you a couple minutes, but for instance, in Oakley, your staff will be here somewhere. Grev, your stuff will be here. If anybody had anything else taken off them, your shooters should be here, I believe. Billy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is where you'd find your stuff at.
Yeah.
I don't think I had anything extra other than the knives.
I think
so...
that you probably stowed your knives away really well. And like, I just am a monk or something. I don't know. I don't know how you talked your way
I'm
into
just
this.
a traveling merchant. Like
I would Grev would find his hallowed axe, his favorite weapon. But I would also like to find a kind of a smaller belt pouch that he would have had on him, and that has a phoenix feather kind of etched into the leather itself and kind of an outline. And I would like to open that, and I do have a minor health potion on me, which I would like to use.
Yeah.
Because owie. I hurt.
Owie.
are there any weapons that would fit Tamazura here? Because I am not
that's a
above
3.
yoinking.
If you name it, you probably could find it weapon wise.
Cool.
So like
Cool.
anything in that first degree of weapons, I would say that for all of you. If you are looking for something in that class 1 weapon, so you'd find it. This is a lot.
I mean,
How
I think
do we-
Cinnamon just goes and finds her wand. That was the only thing that was taken from her.
Mm-hmm.
But before they even left the door, she probably would have traced that rune again and given Tava's armor back to Grev.
Nice.
Give me what back? I'm sorry.
Your armor thing.
Tava's armor,
Oh, thank you.
the thing that gives you a d6 for your next one.
Thank you so much.
So go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt. Right now I have this. I should have asked this question a while ago when we're setting up the character. Right now I just have it as a crossbow, but should I be using? I know there's a blunderbuss in the system that counts as like a one-handed weapon. Not gonna take-
Blunderbuss
yeah.
is clear too.
If you
Is
if
it?
you wanna,
Okay.
if you want to count it as a crossbow for now and just take them as pistols, we could figure that out in
Yes.
a little bit. It's not a big deal.
Sick. Works for me.
We're playing the beta version of this. You know, we're doing what we can here. It's gonna be
Exactly.
fun as long as we flavor things the right way. I think it's fun.
Sick.
But
Works for me.
Anokle, specifically you, because you are the one inspecting the world currently, and also you are the only one that has a memory of where this lift would be because you saw it. What are you doing? This would be spotlighting
tell
you
us?
now.
Because I'm still just assuming we know nothing about your memory that you saw.
That's because I haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to tell
Spot-
anyone.
No, this
You
is
told us
that
about.
moment. So we're Oakley, I'm spotlighting you specifically. What are you doing? This is now you. Fill us in on some gaps, if you would. A lot has happened in the past 20 minutes.
She kind of she points in the direction of the elevator lift thing and she says, if the memory serves me, there should be a way out.
Do you want me to do my thing again? It worked last time.
No, I think we just need to make sure it works.
What? I meant the thing that finds the place that's hidden.
It's not hidden, it's there.
She
Where?
points to a wall that is just a flat wall.
It's there. It's like the door. You gotta open it.
Cinnamon gives a gesture like, go ahead.
Oh, I don't open things. That's what I have handlers for. And she kind of points towards the hole, though, and says, does that look old to you?
Does it?
Yes. I don't need a roll for this. This like for whatever reason, the mound and the hole and like even the grass like around it, this would look very old, almost like it has.
Yeah.
With the weapons that we've picked up too, that all our stuff like stored here, would it have like shown a lot of age, like it's been here a long time?
Just the hole and the grass around it.
Just checking.
Yep.
Just checking.
After Eno points out the hole, Cinnamon gets that like kind of unfocused look on her face as she almost, not to her knowledge, starts like moving towards the hole and is just like circling the mound and is like puttering and like looking at it and like trying to figure out what the hell it is because it doesn't fit with everything else. And is like completely lost the thread on the door and whatever because she's just been absorbed by this new mystery.
I guess give me a knowledge roll.
Sure. I'm gonna spend a stress to use too dang curious on this as well.
Inokle is gonna gesture towards the door and look at Grav and say, maybe not you. And then she's gonna point at Billy.
I'm very good at closing
door.
doors and opening doors.
That was not a great roll.
Door.
I've
Billy points at himself. Me?
Would I be able to have my advantage from? It says I advantage on all knowledge rolls to recall information.
Yes, this is recall.
Great.
This is specifically about something
so
you
that
read.
will be 14. Well, I've read about this as one of my
this is
experiences.
I'm going specifically off of based on like you would have recalled this based on either something you read or maybe the way you saw something happen. So yeah, that's a good recall roll.
Then this will be a 14 with hope.
14 with hope. So you're looking at the age of this whole thing, but also you're looking at the way the hole looks like it was dug, and where it looks like it could have bloomed that way. It also looks like maybe, see, you live on a giant turtle, and when your turtle comes on land, it pushes the sand back. It pushes the land back when it moves. And this is what that looks like. It looks like something is like tilled and almost like pushed it all up into a mound. So you would say that like, yeah, maybe something like burrowed through the mound, but the mound originally got here. All this dirt, all this sand got here because something moved very heavily against it. Almost as if something was either pushed up into this spot or like something like bulldozed all the ground together. And because it's how it's aged, you've lost the lines that would have been there before. but you can tell by the way the mound is placed together that something.
Is it in the spot where the throne was?
No, this is the center of the room, but it is facing the way the throne was. So it looks
Okay.
like there has been. It looks like based on this, there probably was something big that happened here, but there's also no bodies here, and that would be concerning, I think.
Yeah.
Who's opening this door?
I guess Billy was told to do it. I think he'll take a moment to look down at the hole, regret the inability to just shout into it and hear his voice echo, and then move over towards the door.
Great. Again, this is a kind of a flat wall. You need to figure out like where you'd touch or what you'd hit to like open this like hatch up. But there is this like little bulbed area. So I mean, if you want to, I guess give me a tinker roll, which I believe is finesse. You can give me a finesse roll to see if you can have this lockway open.
I'll jimmy the lock. That is a 13 with fear.
Something about it is just not clicking. Like maybe you just need a little bit of assistance, or like
I'll go over. I'll go over and help. I'll Billy, allow me.
Billy is dangling off of the doorknob with his hooves against the door, just like shaking the door.
I'll help if I can just push down with one hand on whatever handle he's trying to.
Yeah, sure.
Trying to get open.
Give me a strength roll.
Okay. That would be a 8 on fear.
An 8 on fear?
Yeah.
Is that all your?
Oh.
No.
Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I keep doing that. I keep only adding one die.
No,
I'm sorry.
Give me all the dice.
Okay.
Sorry. 12, 15. I'm sorry. 15.
There you
Okay,
go.
there you go.
Much better.
There you go.
It takes a second to happen. Like at first, Grev like goes to do it, and he nonchalantly goes to do it and realizes, oh, I need to put a little bit more force into this.
See,
And then-
told you.
And then close, like as he hits it down, and this whole thing opens. You're looking at this like tangled mine shaft elevator. It opens up, and this is where the smell would hit you. And anybody all of you have been around something that has died. This is where fresh blood, that smell in the air hits. And it's like palpable. And you can see this thick layer of it all in the elevator. It's almost like you're going to have to step into the sticky parts. Like no matter where you are in the elevator, you will be standing in this like 1/4 inch pool.
I think
1/4 inch.
Yeah.
Oh my god! How much
I think
blood
Billy
is there?
just
It is a lot.
dusts himself off.
There's also like drippings of the neon green coming from all corners of this elevator. It's a large elevator. This is like you'd be able to like put equipment up and down this elevator. It's like a gondola that moves up and down the mine shaft. And in the corner is a young girl.
Oh.
Who is holding her knees. It's the one that you would have seen in your memory there, Anokle. She has dark black hair, and she's holding her knees. She's wearing like almost like ribboned like this ribbon shirt, and like you could tell she's been through it all, but she is between two bodies that she has like around her, and she's just holding up, staring outwards from them, both of them. And the only reason we don't need to roll for it is because Anokle saw this person in her memory earlier, and she's in the same spot. Her eyes are just wide, and she's not saying a damn thing. She doesn't know that you know that she's there yet, Anokle. But she is also not saying anything. She just takes a deep breath and tries not to breathe hard as you all open this door.
Yeah, I think Billy pats himself off and like, I find this disgusting, but this is a Tuesday for Billy. So I think he just kind of steps into the elevator and just, all right, everybody in.
Anokle, you're the one who knows that this girl's there at first. As everybody gets on, they would eventually see her because she's not super well hidden.
Oh, okay.
But at this moment, you would be the one that knows that she's there, Anokle.
I mean, Cinnamon's still looking at the mound.
Okay. 1 second. I got you.
Inokle is going to tell Tamazera in her head, there's a bigger one somewhere.
Ah, fuck.
And
She will say that out loud.
she's like she's during all of this of asking Cinnamon to inspect the hole in the mound to get this second opinion. She's went and got her staff, and as she's approaching the elevator, she's been like forcibly causing mushrooms to grow out of it as she causes it to hook into a scythe at the end. And she just looks at this little girl for a moment, very and you can watch like where her mouth would be is moving in this
What's going on? Like Billy kind of look at her. What's up? Why you
if
look?
the memory serves, this one knows where the big thing is.
This one? What do you mean this? Oh shit!
Whose sassy child is this?
Well, hey there, little ass. I didn't see you there.
Whose sassy child is this?
Okay, so y'all are gonna find the girl, but the mound does not change. Like, you're looking at it, I there's not really a lot more I can give you about the mound unless
I was just saying that she was investigating the mound while all of this was
Yes.
happening. So she is
Beautiful.
not up at the elevator. Is
Okay.
all I was. That was all I was trying to say with that.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to skip over anything you were like trying to think about or anything like that. I want to make sure I get to everybody's stuff. So this girl, like I said, black hair. She has like these two little like sporadic buns to her. They look like they are not in the same good shape. She has very pale, like untanned skin. She definitely looks like she's been underground for a bit. Is the best way to put it. She has like this blue miner's jacket on, and underneath of it is just like the black frayed. Like, she looks like she's probably been cut into if she before she got hidden. She has a couple scars on her like chest. She looks like she might be in her elder teens, so 17, 18, 19-ish area. We'll say 19 for fun because I don't feel like dealing with kids.
Did you say there was two bodies in front of her?
Yes, she used them as like a hunker point to like stay hidden.
Yeah. I think.
Oh. Well, I would go up with Billy or whoever, or Inoke, whoever wants to go up there.
Yeah, I think Billy will kind of like see Grev approaching and like try and like space himself out from Grev, and he kind of like explains, "Don't want to scare her. Been through a lot." You see, he kind of like takes the hat off, kind of like puts it to his chest. Just, all right, little miss. We're gonna try and get you out of here, okay?
Her eyes like get bigger for a second as you like talk about, and her head immediately like stalks up to look past you. And actually, that's a really good point. If you all would like to take a break, this would probably be the best time to do so.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I didn't want to like interrupt,
No.
but
I just
Oh,
looked
boy.
at the time. So, is everybody good with taking a 20-minute break?
Yeah, I'm down.
Bet. All right. See everybody back
good.
here at 9:25.
all right, cool.
For everybody watching, see y'all soon. I'm about to switch back to the starting up soon screen for 20 minutes, and that means that the song is going to be a little bit loud, but I'll see you back here in 20 minutes. I gotta... turn on the mics. We can all hear each other again. I'm gonna check though.
Mic
I
check.
can't hear
Mic check.
shit.
1 2 3. 1 2 3.
Right.
1 2 3.
I can hear
Turn
everything.
on the mic. Beautiful. All right. Well, then we're back. Thank you for sticking with us through a little break, and for anybody who else comes back or watches this later. Oh man, I can't wait to get done with this because I'm gonna go eat the best ramen. Anyway,
Share. I love ramen. Share.
right. Anyway, we where we left off with Cinnamon walking around the mound in circles and talking to herself, and the rest of you looking into or standing inside this large conveyor belt like gondola that brings things up and down the mine shaft. There are two kind of broken dead bodies that look like they might have been two large humans, and behind them was a younger girl, late teens, early 20s. Like I said, I believe we said she looks like she's about 19, and she is kind of held up there. Billy just approached her and said hello, and she shot her head up to look behind him, to look into the room. You would get the sense that she's very scared, and when she sees the room is empty except for the mound and our
Cinnamon.
lovely seal of a girl, Cinnamon, she would stand up. This girl is maybe 5'3".
Hey.
She has like the black hair, like I said. She's wearing like the miner's jacket. It has blood all over it. She has large, looks like workers' boots on. The workers' boots look like they have probably ran through tons of this acidic ichor that I was talking about earlier. That's fluorescent stuff. She looks like she's been through it a bunch, and her eyes kind of like turn back to Billy, and she just says in a really low kind of whisper, Kazira, my name's Kazira.
And I'm Billy. You can call this one here Grev. He points to Grev. He kind of like starts to move down. Right here, it's Tammy. And in the back over here, he sees the face that Tamazira gives and just blatantly looks past it. And the woman shouting into a hole is, well, her name's Cinnamon, but you don't have to listen to her.
And she kind of looks at Grev and like stands back a little bit, and then she looks at Tamazira's mean face, and
I'm very lovable.
She makes a little clock of that she does not like that name, and then when she gets to Inokle, she kind of like backs off a little bit and puts her hand back, like she's gonna go grab for something.
Whoa,
Don't worry.
Easy.
She's. I know that a lot of the things around here have been, that weird plant-based stuff. She's a good guy. She's been with us. She's been trapped, and we're trying to get out. And we just want to help you get out too.
And you cannot eat her. She's poisonous, I've been told.
That may or may not be true.
I don't know if that's true.
She kind of like settles for a second, and she looks. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fought actually a couple of them and locked the other, however many there were behind that door over there.
Yeah, there's a lot behind the door, like a lot. Like I've seen herds of cattle, and this was bigger than anything I've ever seen before. Absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. Rather terrifying. Well, I mean, it was a little fun. It was fun when the first two popped around, and then the other 40 showed up.
Yeah, that wasn't so much fun. Well, it could have been fun if we.
It could have been fun.
Could have been fun.
I work the lift.
Oh, fantastic!
Well, that's perfect.
Where does it go?
It's supposed
like
to
up and down.
It's supposed to go to the surface, but it won't move you can climb up it, but and she like points up the like you can see the up the shaft of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can see that like 4 or 5 of the like levels up. It looks like there's a large rip in it, and there's a lot more plants that way. But
Okay.
up 1 level is where all the maps are in the control room.
I have an idea.
How?
Sounds like a really great idea. Can we get up 1 level? And Cinnamon has now just like appeared in the.
The second Cinnamon appears, she like backs off and she goes back to grab the thing she was talking earlier.
No.
Oh, easy.
Well, I mean, I get the reaction, but she's actually really sweet. I promise you.
If you were to look what she's going to grab, and actually it's funny because her earrings now look the same. She's going to grab like a large mace.
Oh,
that's like in the corner of the lift.
You know the scene in like Endgame when Thor like summons the hammer next to Captain Marvel, and he's like, "I like her." That's Grandpa's gonna be like, "I like her."
The mace itself, like the actual like handle of the mace is like double her size, and the mace itself looks like this like about her size.
Oh, I definitely like her.
And she's like,
how far up is the next floor?
What were you?
I want to know what Tamazira is gonna play.
Yeah. I gotta know.
Yeah.
So, is it dark? Can I see basically like where the next floor like?
Yeah, you can see where if you were to look upwards, you could see because this whole thing, the whole shaft is on a like incline, and if you were to look up, you could see where like the big hole is for the next like opening.
Okay.
Cool. It's like about 80 feet up.
Sweet. Yeah, I would like to shadow step.
Yep.
While everybody is doing their thing, like you'll just see her just blip out of existence for a bit and then just pop back up like Nightcrawler style.
I think Billy is like planning to climb. He's like kind of plotting his path. I think if I put my feet.
Do I see this?
Oh, yeah.
Do I see it? Because if I do, Cinnamon's just gonna be like, "Oh, I can do that," and I'm gonna use Arcane Door, spend a hope, and I make a spellcast roll, and I can disappear from where I am into somewhere in far range.
While this is going on, I'm gonna look over to Eno and be like, Eno, if it's okay with you, I know I was joking with you earlier with the whole eating thing. It was a joke. I really don't think I can eat you. That was a joke. I hope you forgive me. However, it sounds like we need to get out of here. If you wouldn't mind, I can help us get up there really easily without much issue, and it doesn't involve throwing you at all.
I wanted to recon, like get some reconnaissance before everybody else goes up there, and just
you left me. I'm going.
No, that's totally fair.
He's perfectly fair.
But I did want to like say like as soon as I get up there, I wanted to drop into hide. And just meld into the shadows.
Good. I love it.
Perfect.
Roll me the hide roll.
Okay.
So I appear in an empty space.
Yes, you do.
Cinnamon teleports up.
Because I rolled a 16 with hope, so I succeeded on my Arcane Door.
Just wait, Billy. Just wait. I got you.
No. I think Billy's watching everybody as they go up, and he goes, "All right, I'll stay with the girl."
I have a plan. I can tell you about it after.
Oh no, don't worry. Someone should make sure that she's okay. She's been through enough alone.
Yeah, I can bring all 3 of you up there. So
I don't think it's a roll for hiding. It's more or less I mark the stress for doing it, and then I'm
Billy's intrigued.
Oh, you're doing the thing. Okay, yeah. You're blending it. Good. Yeah, use marker stress. Do it.
Yep.
Beautiful. We'll get to you coming, appearing in the store in a second. We're going to talk about what you see first, but first I want to know what they're doing with these 3. Eno, would you like to answer Grev?
Eno's going to look at Grev and look at this girl for a moment, and then just, where's the big one?
She'll look at the mound. The master, and she'll point to the mound. The big one.
I killed her.
Huh?
I killed her.
Killed who?
The creator of this.
Oh, no. She'll
I feel like
point.
this is something really important that just got spoken in front of me.
Yeah.
And
She'll point.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly turn to Eno like
Kazira, the girl will say, hold on, I gotta see what his full name was again.
oh, he has multiple names. Okay. Sure.
No.
She'll look at you and say, no, Master Valise, as in valise, the satyr thing.
Mm.
And she'll say,
Ah.
and she'll point to,
Oh.
she'll point to the mountain again, and say, he did not like the large one, and now it's the dirt.
Okay.
Mhm.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He closed me in here.
Oh.
I have so many questions and like no answers right now. Okay. So, back to what I was offering. If you would like,
Oh, we're gonna
Something
skip over
we can-
all of it. All right, cool. Go for it.
we're gonna not unpack this because there is. Listen, there are still things banging against that door. I'm sure that are wanting to come through. I think that Cinnamon said we have an hour. I don't know how long it's been. I can't keep track of time down
At
here.
least an hour. It didn't look like they knew how to wield magic, and that's the only way to unlock it.
We would hope, and Grev doesn't know that you're not there.
I know.
So,
I'm just saying that's what she stated
Yeah.
about.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, you said an hour or magically unlock it, right?
Yes.
No, it
least
takes
an hour.
it'll stay locked forever. Or
Oh,
an hour
I
with
thought
magic.
it was okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was locked for an hour. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
No,
Gotcha.
forever. Or if they have magic, it'll take them an hour. To...
Well, then let's just talk it out right here. Let them do what they're gonna do up there. Let's talk about this. What?
Keziah would look around and look at Eno again and say, "Did you didn't kill Valise?"
No, haven't seen. Actually, this brings up a good point. And you all will see Billy
He al-
walk over to the hole and just lean over the hole. Valise!
You had to do it.
Valise. After the third echo, you hear you start hearing a bunch of stuff climbing up the hole.
Billy.
It was worth a shot.
You were saying?
It's far down though,
Eno,
so you have a while.
She shakes her head and she says, that thing didn't create this.
Keziah shakes her head. Yes, I know. And she's gonna lean back, and she's like, "They came from up there."
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I feel like you have such important context to give here. Please tell me what's happening right now.
While we discuss this, some dashingly handsome rogue renegade might have woken up another part of the hive, so I think we should probably move up a floor.
Oh,
We
you
should
mean
shut that door.
No, I mean the big hole. Yeah, he's gone, by the way. He left. Very handsome.
So just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Billy, you would like to do the thing that I've been trying to get us to do for the past 10 minutes? You want to do that now?
Well, we got time.
Oh, now's a good time. Okay, great. Now's a good time. I'm gonna now. Way, please tell me what I can do here. I can obviously fly with my wings, so I have that ability to fly.
Mm-hmm.
It says I can spend a hope to pick up and carry another willing creature that is approximately my size or smaller. Everybody is smaller, so can I double? Like I want to have if she wants to come with me on one, like kind of tuck it under like a football, and then have maybe the girl if she's willing to go, or even have Billy on my other arm, and then maybe even have the girl on my back, or somehow do it, and I can spend 3 hope dice to carry them all up to the second floor.
If they all want to go with you and you want to spend the hope, that sounds fine to me.
That's what I would. That's my plan. I'll let you guys discuss. That's my plan. I want to take all 3 of you NPC and 2 others included.
I think instead of underarm, like you've all seen Billy like has pretty good like leaping ability, and it's like a little casual leap where he just plops a squat, like sits down on Grev's shoulder, just
hey little buddy,
dukes a hazard, hops up, sops down,
slide across the car.
Keziah thinks about it for a second, and she like looks down, and she looks at her mace. And she just kind of sighs. Okay. And she like pats the mace, and then she looks at you and just puts her hand up like, "Okay, go ahead. Like pick me up."
Is she taking the mace or she's leaving the mace?
She's leaving it. It's way too heavy.
I will turn to her and say, "I got something so much cooler for you. I promise. As soon as we get up there, I'm going to give you something so much better. You'll love it. You'll love it." So I will go ahead and with my Phoenix wings, I will go ahead and I will lift off as best as I can.
Is Inoue going?
Oh yeah, Did you say you were going? Okay. However, if you want to position yourself on Grev, I guess, because we're not footballing it. Whatever's more comfortable for we will just fly up to the second floor, and I'd like to think that whenever Grev actually flies, he leaves a couple of or like 1 or 2 feathers behind that are just kind of like they do like. The way I envision it is that they kind of disintegrate after a few moments. Like they don't stay there for a long time, but they're just kind of there for a little bit of effect.
All right. So you all will show up about 5 minutes or so after them. Let's talk about this because I believe, Tamazir, you get there first. You hit the shadows, and as you appear, you can see this large circular room. It's like a half circle. And it looks like it would have like opened up into this, and then at the other end is like these 2 hallways that lead out at a V shape. And one of the hallways is completely, it looks like something like squished and turned the hallway. Like if you would think like something, like if the hallway was like a shaft, it looks like something has grabbed it, shoved it, and then just like twisted it. There's no going down that hallway. Hallway is completely gone. This other hallway straight down looks like it is been burrowed out, and there is just these dead creatures all across it. Like it looks like whatever has gone down that hallway, like hundreds of these things have died in its wake.
Oh.
And in this room there are a bunch of dead dwarves, looks like miners, like mining people, not young children. And I had to say it because
wait, nobody was thinking that until you just said it.
I did.
You said dwarves and then miners, and my brain went dwarf miners.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mining.
Miners.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
man.
okay.
I need to specify because of the people I normally play this game with, and and so we're sitting, and then also in the room though is all these like papers, and it looks like this is where they keep track of like all the stuff they're mining. It looks like a control room of sorts, or like a room that had like information, like just what Kazira said. There is a large map of this whole thing on the wall, like behind plastic. So you could look at this map and get an idea for it, or if somebody can make a copy of the map, you can do that too. But like I said, you slink down in the darkness, and you can hear things moving now below you because of our friend Billy, but also you can it sounds like there's something scratching at the twisted hallway, like something large enough that it's like trying to burrow its way into this place.
So like the opposite side of the twisted hall coming towards us. Oh crap.
And like I said, you appear in this low light, you immediately hide, and then almost right next to you, walking out this like whatever her door would look like, which you can go ahead and talk about.
Just like an old wooden door with like really fancy carved like pictures in it, like it tells like a story like in the door, like
that's cool,
and it's got this whole like picture story in the door, and the door like appears, and then she just steps out of it, and then the door disappears.
So you watch the door open up, and then she steps out of it. Door closes, disappears completely.
Gotta get some WD-40 on that door
And
there.
She walks out of it, but she's in front of you now, and you are hidden. So by all means, Cinnamon.
Well, I thought Tam was here, but oh, there's the map. How big is the map?
Very large.
How big? Oh, well, it's probably too big to carry.
Yes.
So she tries to find some blank paper or paper that's blank on the back and starts
Tons of it everywhere.
trying
Trying to copy it.
copy it out. Yeah.
Very good.
And also making markings of like, well, this is where our room was. This is what we found here. Blah, blah, blah. Twisted hallway. That's really weird. And
I do have a question when I get up there. Wait, just for later, just so you know, I do have a question about the map and stuff. I want to ask you something.
Very cool. Tamazir, would you like to do anything?
I want to continue to stick to the shadows, and then I would like to get closer to the hallway with all the dead bodies. I want to see if I can figure out what caused all this carnage.
Give me a perception roll, which I think in our game is instinct.
Instinct. Okay. Dice, and where's my other one? Am I blind? Did I lose my other dice? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Woohoo! Oh, I rolled double 7. I rolled a crit.
Okay.
Let's go.
Something clearly magical.
Oh.
Some of them are singed out that look like some of them spark with electricity. This looks like if you imagine like a large chaos bolt, but in the form of like if like somebody beam struggled through this area.
Nice.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like something just tunneled this entire thing out. What used to be a hallway is now a large, like you can see dirt even that where like it ripped apart the sides and it just went straight through.
How long is this hallway?
Let me check my book. All my drawings.
Long enough for you to run for your life.
120 feet.
120 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a long tunnel. Whoa.
At the other end it is a T shape, so you can go left or right at the other end.
Clearly, I'm not detecting any movement other than from Cinnamon behind me.
Yeah, Cinnamon behind you, and then every once in a while there's little things that like twitch and twinge that make you believe that this happened in the past couple hours. You rolled a crit, so I'm going to give you all the information you possibly can get.
Sweet. Sick. So I want to basically I'm going to do the bad idea, and I'm going to break away from the party a little bit just to get to that T so I can like take a look around.
Cool. We'll get back to you in just a moment.
Sure.
You are gone.
Oops.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Beautiful. Grev, you land with the party.
Great.
Behind Cinnamon, and Cinnamon is masterfully drawing a rendition of all 17 floors of what this map shows. In chalk, I guess. I don't know.
What are you talking about? You
In the blood of my enemies.
And she's a wizard. Of course she has
There you
her
go.
like quills and
Inks.
ink pens and everything else. Like,
Sure.
you think a wizard, especially one that works in the library, doesn't have all the writing utensils?
Ooh, she got all the writing utensils. Great. So it's
Gel
nicely,
pen.
and gel pens. No, but
I was gonna say she's writing it down in the blood of her enemies because I thought that sounded really, very like
that's very.
There's
Grev.
plenty of ink around.
But anyway,
From what Grev knows of Inocle, that's how she takes notes.
Lord. All right, so y'all get there. Kazira like immediately runs up and like looks at Cinnamon, and then points on the map, it would be on the far end of this place. If we get to the T where she's going and turn right, there is a large sectional room that's like this big like open room, and she'd point to that and be like, most of the power for this whole thing is down here. This is where the power, like all the power stuff is, and if we can turn that on, then we could maybe use the elevators to go back up to the surface.
Okay.
Ooh,
great.
that's a really good idea.
Great.
Okay.
But if we turn that on, it's also going to turn all the lights on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Zira, real quick, because I told you I was going to give you something. I'm going to hand her the glaive that we picked up on the first floor.
Oh. Okay.
Listen, it's not a mace, but if you wanted to, you can kind of swing it around. I can make it shorter too, but I think that you'd probably enjoy. Yeah, just break the.
No.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
She like takes it and like puts it on her back, one-handed. It
All
looks,
right.
whatever reason, she's a lot stronger than she looks.
Huh.
And you get the feeling like the mace she just had, the mace part of the mace, like the head part of the mace, was her size. So you got to think she was wielding like a 5 foot long.
So she's like Final Fantasy VII clouding this huge Buster Blade looking thing.
Yeah,
got it. Okay,
and she like puts it on her shoulder and goes, "I can use this to point." And she like points to other things on the map and starts to explain things.
I need to arm wrestle her. I want to see how strong
Every
she is.
time she points to something and explains it, like that's just like another note that's like added into Cinnamon's.
But she
booklet
says,
version.
and then she says, this is the main elevator to floor 4. From floors 4 to 1, because that's how you get to the. We'd have to go all the way down here because you're not supposed to come down this far unless you know how to get here. But that means that floors 4 and through 1, that's where all everything came from. So I don't know what above us is going to be infested or not.
How do you know all this?
Because I
what was your role here?
I do this, and she points to the thing. I'm the lift operator.
She's gonna know how to operate the lift. She's gonna know how to get somewhere. That's like her job.
Right.
How many times have you gotten in an elevator and been like, well, how do I get somewhere? Like, it's their job to know.
Right. Well, generally it only goes one way. But I've never heard of a lift operator wielding a glaive like a paperclip. That's not very usual.
Maybe you should read, because I've absolutely read a book about it.
No, you have not. No, you have not. No, you have not.
Yes, I have.
I will give you. I will give you. And I'm just gonna turn away from her. Because I know that's gonna keep her busy for a little bit. That's all I wanted to do was just keep her busy.
I think.
And I want to look at Billy and go, Billy, back me up on this, right? Please.
I think Billy just kind of looks at them and then goes, the chances of there being a book about an elevator operator that happens to be a child strong enough to lift something that...
Billy, not that. No, that's not what I was talking about, Billy. I wanted your input on her, and I'm pointing to it was like just like glaive chillin'.
Oh, she's cool.
She gives you a thumbs up.
All right. Okay.
And then I shove a book in Grev's face that's titled "The Lift Operator."
Out of a gun.
I think
there's no way, and I'm gonna
Billy
start reading.
turns away.
He starts reading. I'm gonna save the for later. I'm gonna tuck it away.
Billy,
it's like a young adult romance.
Yeah.
It is like a fantasy YA novel about a lift operator who like steadily gets like magical super strength and then ends up wielding a magic glaive and goes on this whole adventure.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's true. That's okay. I'm gonna
the whole
time
this is happening. Gazira is just like every once in a while looking at Inocle.
I was gonna say,
like,
I think,
and she like kind of scoots away from her every once in a while.
I think Billy like looks over at Inocle, kind of leans, just, I guess, on or off the record. Are you Okay, this seems to be relatively related to you. And honestly speaking, I don't necessarily care how it relates to you. Just, are you all right?
She kind of she's like holding her scythe to where like the end of the staff is pressed up against her foot and she's holding
Yeah.
it out. And during their whole argument, she actively looks
Just
vacant face.
glazed
She is
over.
not there. But she looks at Billy and she says, I was hoping to get here and get the wish to make it go away.
Well, that would have been a good wish, especially if it happened before we got locked into a room. Honestly, bad scheduling. But for what it's worth, if we find the satyr man with no face, or a chair for a face, or how does that work? He like turns to Kazira. Actually, never mind. If we find him, maybe we can still do something about this. But as long as you're doing all right, I just, I've seen people fight their demons and also lose to them. So, just making sure you're okay.
Does Grev want to say anything else to Cinnamon before we close that little area?
I'm already done. I just have my book.
Okay,
That's
good.
all I want.
If there was ever a moment to give someone inspiration, I feel like Cinnamon getting Grev to read deserves something. So you can have it.
Grev reads all the
You can
time.
have
What do
it.
you mean?
I don't
Why
believe
does
you.
everybody think Grev
You
doesn't
can
read?
I was like, I don't believe
Grev
you.
totally reads all the time.
Grev yelled at her
See
that
my
I will
life
not read.
read.
But
Chock full.
But anyway,
Chock full. I tell you.
if you make a note, you can add advantage to some roll later in time.
Great. I will
Um,
keep that note.
for next time. Moving back to Tamazira now, who has gotten to the T,
Oh boy.
and you are going which direction?
I'm not
Having
going.
tea.
Oh, you're not going
in
in
any
direction. Oh,
direction.
okay.
I am basically like peeking my little head around to see what I can see, and I'm guessing by this point, and with how big this area is, and with the I guess it's all stone and stuff,
Mhm.
I can hear what's going on down the hallway where everybody else is.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's probably echoing, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm staying hidden. My ass is staying hidden.
So,
Has anybody seen my best friend? Anybody?
Tamazira?
She was gone when I got here.
You're
I'm
at
right
She's really
here.
good at that.
Joking.
You're
Yeah.
you're at the T, or the crossroads of it all, and you kind of turn, like, you take it all in at first, and it doesn't feel like anything's moving. Now roll me perception
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
to see how we take this all in.
That's instinct. Okay.
In fact, it's the last roll of the session.
Last
Oh
roll.
boy.
Finally, a fear roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 14.
Okay. So
Okay.
you take it all in, and you don't. None of your senses go off, which is good for you. You're a very well trained assassin. Like, normally your spidey senses would go off, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
So then you turn and you like kind of look down to the left. It's a long hallway that juts into a circular pattern upwards. Nothing. There's not even bodies down that way, or nothing. Nothing like this. This hallway looks like it's been not used yet.
I'm sus. Okay.
And then the back of your neck kind of flares as you can feel all the goosebumps go off. And right past you, a larger thing kind of walks. And you're in the shadows, and it hasn't seen you yet.
Oh,
So it
I'm not even gonna
stops,
breathe.
And it turns in that slow way to make its way down the hallway towards them. And as it turns, you can see the four tails kind of flicker back. This is one about twice as big as the other ones you fought. And it has four arms, and its one hand is like leaving a trail along and you can hear the as it like kind of like cleaves through the bone and everything else. And then the last thing you hear as we end our first episode is its voice. and it says out loud, I can't find where that satyr thing went. But you down there, go ahead and keep checking. I'll take care of this floor. And it just turns. And that's where we'll end episode 1 of Rolling Until Ragnarok's Monday Nights campaign. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. And thank you all for playing this game with me and telling stories. I love you all. And I will see you all next Monday.